anything about the study that he mentioned. Didn't know anything about what you were. Well, we're getting into word games, and all this other stuff. Anyway, let's go to
the metaphysics. You can tell he's a Jay Dyer listener because he's like, well, we're getting into the metaphysics. And I'm like, what's the metaphysical? And he's like, well, it's rhetorical. It's like, what's rhetorical?
Doesn't even
nothing was rhetorical.
Yeah, a Jay Dyer fan. Meanwhile, Jay Dyer's wife is in the other room. Another Andrew Wilson.
Here we have NotSoErudite here, who is back on Brian, co-hosting a Brian show, probably promoting the new Taking Back America tour that they got going on, that Brian is also a part of. So he was like, you know what? I respect you, Kyla. So why don't you come on to my show and co-host? Sarah's like, wait a minute, bucko. Who's this?
A few times.
You've done my show multiple times through video, and it's great to see you in person here doing the show with me. Talk a little bit about this Take America Back tour, because we got this event Friday where Destiny's going to be debating. I'm laughing because George Santos. It's going to be a funny debate. So Destiny's debating George Santos. We have a couple other debates.
Man, two F-slurs
going on, and this is a fun event in Las Vegas that we're all a part of.
Yeah, so I run a tour called Take Back America. The goal is to kind of make liberalism and the left cool again, and that's a double entendre. So it's both hopefully doing a bit of a facelift.
It's a double entendre. We're gonna make the liberals cool again, meaning that they're gonna be like in and hip with it, but they're also gonna be like not hot. Like we're gonna have air conditioning, so they're gonna be very cool. And that's what I mean by it's a double entendre. Del Phil for the 5. I guess generations of poverty, malnourishment, and incest have zero effect. Great take, Bri. Exactly. Martin Speaks, thank you very much for the 20. Go sub to Martin Speaks 2 and Cool Vic. Thank you very much. Yes, go check out Martin Speaks 2 and also myself. Thank you very much for the 20, brother. I appreciate it.
For understanding how the left operates and moves, but also educating Democrats on why people are frustrated with them as well. It's kind of it's a double prong.
Yeah, and I feel like, listen, there's many reasons why Trump won, and
yeah, she came covered up, in her Michael Jackson coat. Yeah, she came super covered up, so maybe Brian to defeat the Bryshap gaze. I don't want this creep staring at me, so I covered up extra.
Kamala lost, but I do feel like this is one of the reasons where some of the younger podcasters and some of the younger movements, it wasn't really happening, at least as much to the level that it needed to get that young vote for somebody like Kamala to win. And I think organizations like yours, which you've started with Mercedes, I think this helps, and we need more of this.
Yeah.
Right?
So today we're debating George Santos. One of our debaters just dropped out last minute, which was unfortunate.
Tomorrow, not today.
Tomorrow. This is all tomorrow. Yep. And then we've also got Def Noodles. We've got Destiny, Micah Arfan, and Andrew JD. And they're all great debaters. I'm really excited to kind of have the conversation. And I'm excited because all 3 topics are going to be about Trump and his administration. And
Brian really has to work on his lighting for guests. It's probably all done by him. It's probably too cheap to hire someone to do his lighting, but he really needs to fix it up. It absolutely brutalizes his guests, like makes them look brutal.
Republicans who will actually talk about Trump these days and defend Trump is getting harder, as you probably have found in your debates. It's hard to get a Republican to agree to a topic on Trump, which is a bit telling.
There's something also very creepy going on with her eyes. Like her pupils look too dilated. It's very creepy. She looks like the freaking girl from that movie Obsession. It looks like that look she's going for. So that's also another thing too. Like, look at her. It's the creepy right there.
True. I've said that a lot on my show, Kyla, and that a lot of these MAGA Republicans, whatever you want to call them, they're finding it more and more difficult to defend Trump. When you look at where the economy's at right now,
it's pretty indefensible.
Unemployment numbers, inflation numbers, right? GDP growth, everything basically from every economic metric, we're worse off right now than we were when Joe Biden left office. And that's irrefutable, right? Like I'm debating, Jake Lang's a bad example of this because he's an idiot, but he's like, everything's cheaper in the grocery stores.
No,
I'm like,
what? Name it.
Besides eggs. So I said to him, I'm like, do you know what the inflation numbers were when Joe Biden left office and where they're at now? Of course he didn't know because he's an imbecile. So I look at Sean Kelly, who's running the show. I'm like, can you please fact check him? I knew what it was, 3% when Joe Biden left, and it's around 4.2% now.
Fact check him, Sean Kelly. And if he's wrong, kick him off of the debate, Sean. This is my show now. Look at me. I'm the captain now. Billy Manilli. Vic, how can we email you info? My email is in the description of the YouTube channel.
So Sean reiterates those numbers, and he still doesn't give in.
Well, he probably doesn't know what that means.
He's so stupid.
I'm sure he doesn't know, like, okay, well, now that we're outside of 4%, that's considered unhealthy inflation.
Right. Yeah. And it's like, and I also make the argument, Kyla, that it wasn't Joe Biden's choice to take over as president during a global pandemic. It also wasn't his choice for Vladimir Putin to invade Ukraine. Those weren't his choices. He didn't want those things to happen. This was Donald Trump's choice to go to war. We'll get into that in a little bit later, but this was his choice to go to war. And you look at where gas prices are at now, and you look at how this has affected our economy.
Housing.
And they had this housing bill that was just Republicans and Democrats were the children finally be able to.
Wow, they're really making liberals cool again, huh? Like I'm seeing these two spurg out about Trump and Republicans, and I'm like, oh, damn, I want to hang out with these people. Yes, sign me up.
Come together and say, okay, this is a good bill.
We're really taking back America.
It was so good. It was such a good bill. And Trump is holding, as he does, all the American civilians hostage so that he can get this bill passed that makes more voter ID, even though conservative think tanks know that election fraud with like false IDs and stuff is basically just not a problem with elections. Like that's not the problem with elections at all. So it's so frustrating that this guy who ran on the punditry of draining the swamp is the deepest, foulest swamp we've ever had as far as like corrupt elites. It is ridiculous.
By the way, you want to talk about a 180. I was just sitting next to Jake Lang for 2 hours, and then I have a conversation with you. It's like complete opposite, right? Intelligent, well-spoken, gives facts out. And it's
and then I start talking to you, and it's the complete opposite.
It's almost impossible to talk to these people anymore.
Yeah. It's like, remember when Brian Shapiro would like laugh at like the libs and be like, facts don't care about your feelings. Now I'm being like, okay, well, the Liberal Party is the only one that apparently operates in reality at this point, which is pretty crazy.
With that being
said, I mean, that statement alone proves that they are not operating in reality.
Out too much information. Did you see a couple of years ago if somebody said you'd be having dinner with like Tim Pool and his crew? Would you have believed that a couple of years ago?
Definitely not a couple. I mean, I'm from Canada originally. I'm like from
yeah, baby. Yeah, you see what happens when you hang out with the Shat, baby. I got you a dinner with Tim Pool and his crew. I'm just kidding. She was actually on his show before Brian.
I grew up like ranching and riding and working cattle in like rural Alberta. So definitely not. Not.
That's why you're used to being around cows like me. I'm a lol cow.
Yeah. If you told me, I didn't even get into social media until my husband was like, you should do this while you're waiting for grad school to start. And I just like did it as a hobby. So
it's turned out well for you. Is it weird for you now where people, because it's weird for me. Is it weird for you now when people recognize you and, you know, oh, I love your work. I love your stuff, because they do that to you because you've been all over the place. I mean, you've been on some of the biggest shows, including Tim Pool. I
haven't been on Piers Morgan yet, but if you keep hanging around me, baby, I'll get you that Piers Morgan spot. Do you know Jack Posobiec? I could introduce you to him too.
Whatever debate with Andrew Wilson, we were just talking about it, which was close to 9 hours.
Yeah.
How has that been like for you, for people to like recognize you now? And
it's like nerve-wracking in a really humbling way. I think I just take the responsibility. I think I'm like nervous of the responsibility of what the platform means. Like at all times when people are like, oh my gosh, I love your work. I'm like, oh, I hope they're telling the truth, and thank goodness, because like if I have such a loud voice, I have like a moral imperative to make sure that it's doing good for the world as much as I possibly can. And and I mess up and I'm wrong sometimes, but
sure, we all are.
It's really humbling. It's really humbling when people recognize me and appreciate me or like thank me for helping them de-radicalize. I did a lot of young men.
You know, the thing with NotSoErudite is like, man, like within a few minutes, I already get like sick of hearing from her. We're only 7 minutes into this. This is like, you know, his show is almost 2 hours long. And I'm very like, oh gosh. Again, taking back America. Look how likable these two are. Don't you want to hang out with them? Aren't they cool? Huh?
Kind of red pill work. That's where I started. So that's been really, really cool and humbling. And I hope that I keep making them proud, essentially.
You know what I enjoy the most? I mean, obviously it's great when people call in and they say, Brian, you helped get me through the day at work, and I love your show. And that I'm very humbled by that. But it's when a MAGA supporter comes up to me, for example, like when I've done some live debate events with Tim Pool and other people, and I know just about everybody in there is pro-Trump, and they come up to me after and they shake my hand. They're like, you know, I disagree with you on a lot of things, but I have a lot of respect for you for coming here and having this conversation. To me, that's the best compliment, because when you get respect from somebody that disagrees with you,
yeah,
I do feel like, and you'll go into almost just about any platform and debate people, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
I think more people on the left need to do that. And I think more people on the right need to do that. I think more politicians on the left need to go on Fox News. I think more politicians on the right need to go on MSNBC.
A lot of people, I think, forget that, like, if you look at the history of liberalism, right, there's these great quotes like the pen is mightier than the sword. And like the reality,
the pen is mightier than the sword. You mean the pen is mightier than the sword? No, it's pen is. Oh, really? I've been saying it wrong this whole time. Martin speaks for the $5. Brian is what I call a Durka Durka. Yeah. Thank you very much. Martin speaks. And also, thank you very much, Adam, for the 2. Hey, Vic, glad to be back on back-to-back nights. Hell yeah. Shadow Fox for the 2. People get TDS fatigue. Wow. Stunning news. Mrs. D for the 5. For a small nobody YouTuber, you sure do have a ton of loyal subs worldwide willing to defend you. Brian has nobody doing that, even at 200K subs. Yeah, exactly. Where are all the pushing the limits fans? Where's Darlene in my chat telling me off, going, you leave Brian alone, you mega mushroom gobbler? He has no loyal fans. Even the loyal fans aren't that loyal. I'm loyal, Brian. Thank you very much, Mrs. D. I appreciate it. By the way, we're like, what are we at? 21 more to go to get to 300 subs. Adam for the 2. Bryce Shap should put with respect on his hat. Yeah. I mean, we have 21 more to go with the likes, I should say. We need to get to 300 likes with respect. He should make that into a shirt. He'll be better than the stupid other shirt he made. Kulawra from $5. I challenged Brian to debate about Trump, and I'm really studied up on every topic he wants to talk about, but I don't have enough clout for him. Yeah, exactly. I'm willing to get destroyed and look stupid in debate, but I better get paid for it, or I better get clout. Del Phil for the 5. Brian is desperate for a piece he didn't pay for. In Gen Z terms, would that be a giga simp? Yes, I think it would. Thank you very much, Del Phil. Abby for the 10. Not so erudite. Who? All right, that dumb girl who got wrecked by Andrew multiple times. And she's going to get wrecked by Rachel Wilson at DebateCon. The Zuck for the 5. Your Bryce Shap voice is the best thing since Mark Dice's Brian Stelter. Well, thank you very much, this Zuck. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you very much. It's too bad you support a mega mushroom gobbler like that random podcast host who makes videos about me all the time.
Reality is that, like, the modern day version of the pen is your voice, right? And so bad ideas, the like greatest evils historically, have often been crushed first and foremost by the pen, by rallying the people and inspiring them with ideas and taking bad ideas and pointing them out and highlighting them. There's this freedom fighting group that was from Rafah, Syria. There's this great documentary about them called The City of Ghosts, and they were hunted by ISIS for years, and all they did was just report on what ISIS was doing to the civilians of Rafah. Right? It's so important.
Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Listen, what does this have to do about Trump? What does this have to do about Orange Man Bad, Kyla? With respect, of course.
People always ask, why are you talking to these people? They're like terrible people. And it's like, because if bad ideas shrivel.
Brian's already getting bored. Look at him.
In the spotlight. They really do.
He's like, maybe it wasn't such a good idea. Let me go back a little bit.
So important. Like people always ask, why are you talking to these people? They're like terrible people. And it's like,
how much time has gone by?
If bad ideas shrivel in the spotlight. They really do. And it's
I have to
really
go 2 hours with this
And I'm not saying everyone has to. I wouldn't tell a trans person that they have to go talk to every transphobe.
Can we just get back to how
right? But it's
bad?
Like, if there are people who are good at it and willing to do that,
we always
try
talk like
to
this?
Support them, like the work that you try to do. You really try to with Jake Lynn today. You just sat there and were honest about how any normal person would look at his behavior.
All right, just as soon as she pauses, I'm going to bring up Trump. I'm going to see if I can bring up Trump somehow.
And saying that you should lynch black. Like, I mean, this is horrible. And it needs a light shined on it because
hopefully if I agree with her enough, she'll just
probably won't ever change. He's incentivized to keep doing it. But so many other people that maybe are interested in what he has to say might look at that behavior and be like, oh, well, I'm not like that guy. I don't want to be like that guy, which is so important.
Maybe I said something today that maybe I shouldn't have said, but
I said that, Trump isn't so bad. And I was wrong to say that because obviously he is bad. Now, let me talk a little bit more. Okay. You've done enough talking, Erudite. Thank you very much. But so anyway, Orange Man Bad, right?
Meant it at the time. He called black people the N-word. And I said, Jake, I just want to punch you in the face right now. And I'm not a violent person.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a natural reaction, I think, when you use words like that to talk about people. And he said so many disparaging things, but anyway, it is what it is. I just think it's really sad. But, you know, I had Dean Cain on the show yesterday for an hour.
Name drop. Name drop.
And when a guest takes time out of their day to come on my show, I try to treat them with respect. He treated me with respect. But I had some people saying,
he really should get with respect on his hat. He says that a lot. I didn't even notice how much to make her stop. I don't know, but that's a good question. Thank you very much, Mrs. D, for the $2 super chat. And also, thank you very much, Del Phil, for the 2. Why did she hide those cans? That's a good question. I don't know. I guess you're going to have to ask her. But we did shatter the second super chat goal. So here we go. Bryce Shap. Thank you guys very much. Let's go. And thank you very much, Socrates, for the $5. After listening to the most boring lecture from NotSoErudite, Brian's response is Trump hates black people, LMAO. Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much, Socrates, for the $5. You know he has to bring it back to Trump somehow. That's all this dude's about.
Oh, you weren't hard enough on him. They want me to call him like a Trump mushroom gobbler. They want me to be the Brian that deals with callers. And callers are different than when I interview people. Yeah, do I think Dean Cain's probably not the most intelligent person in the world? Yes. Do I think Dean Cain's takes are absurd? Yes, I do. I think he's wrong on a number of different issues. Absolutely. But if someone's willing to come on my show for an hour and have a discussion, which I respect, I'm not just going to call them names, right? Because first of all, none of these people will come back on, and I won't get big names on the right to come on my show. So I'm not just going to, unless someone is rude to me. Now
and I'm going to wait for him to leave the show before I call them stupid buffoons and stupid mega mushroom gobblers and call them pieces of crap and stupid and idiots and morons. That's when I'll do all that. But when they're in the room, I'm gonna be fake and I'm gonna be a phony.
I have had situations where I have had like what's his name, Larry Elder. He was just very rude and condescending, so I was very condescending.
Larry Elder,
Warren Smith, condescending. Thinks he's the smartest guy on the planet, so I'm going to be condescending to him. But like for the most part, do you think that's wrong? Like when a guy like a Dean Cain comes on my show, he's respectful to me. He's like, Brian, you could ask me anything you want, even though I disagree with everything he said.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call him a name, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to like yell at him and call him a name because I disagree with him.
Yeah. I don't actually know who Dean Cain is. So
Superman,
I apologize.
Superman actor. Yeah.
You know what's funny? I was going to make that joke that she probably doesn't even know who Dean Cain is. I guess I didn't even have to do it. I didn't even have to make that joke. Sometimes the jokes just write themselves.
Superman.
But I'm assuming he's Republican.
Yeah. He's like the James Woods of this generation. Yeah. As far as like right-wing idiot.
Who's James Woods now? Oh, God. I forgot. You're young, aren't you? She's not even that young. She's like in her early 30s.
James Woods was great actor.
I don't know
Dean
James
Cain.
Woods.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I'm sorry.
You're not into the pop culture stuff.
I'm really not. Like, if you listed academics and like philosophers, I'd be like, yeah.
You know everything when it comes to philosophy.
Not everything. I'm an amateur.
No, but you're a great debater. But I'm surprised you don't know who James Woods is.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm so bad at it.
Okay.
I'm sure if I saw a picture of his face, I would know who he is.
Yeah.
To be fair.
And also she's Canadian too.
I mean, I think a lot of people think that persuasion is like a single note.
Yeah.
And the reality is that, like, I have a therapy background, actually. I was a licensed addiction counselor.
Oh boy, I need some of that.
Psychometrist. But the reality of like persuasion, I don't know who that is.
Doesn't know who James is. That's okay.
I thought. I tried.
Fair enough. All right. Jeez. How much time do we got left? Oh my gosh, an hour and 50 minutes alone with this broad still. Gosh. Hey, listen, Kyla, do you have like an OF account or anything that I could look at while you're talking?
But I think the reality of persuasion is that like all people need to be approached and talked to differently, and all conversations need to be approached and talked about differently. There's a reality that even if you look at like Nike, an advertising firm, if you watch the way that their advertisements have changed over time with what consumers are interested in, in the 2010s, lifestyle advertising was really popular, whereas now influencer advertising and like what's viewed as like authentic ad placements on shorts and reels is what people are moving towards now. The reality is like persuasion has to look different in every single medium, right? I think a lot of people, for example, that are disillusioned understandably with both political parties, that feel like nobody at the high level actually cares about them. I think when they see somebody who's very doggedly on the left, who's very much
Oh my God, Brian's letting her talk too much. Come on, Brian. For once, I'm actually like, come on, Brian, can you actually speak a little bit more? The first and last time you'll probably ever hear me say that. Bucket Button, thank you very much for the fiber over there on Rumble. The SSRIs, Chico, they never lie. Scarface, probably. Yeah, exactly. Even though I just have a habit of wanting to do that in the Scott Hall voice. But thank you very much, Bucket Button. Let's see, who else be in here? Hoop Jargon for the $1.99. Life is short. Come to my hotel after the show. Yeah, exactly. Del Phil for the 2. The last one was in Bryce Shep's internal thoughts. Yeah. Proctologist for the 250. Kyle started her transition to Jigsaw, it seems. Dude, that's funny. Thank you very much, Proctologist.
Or in the Democrat Party, only be mean and nasty to everyone at all times, even if the person that they're talking to isn't nasty. I think all it does is it shows people, oh, liberals are just like rabid, mean bullies, right? And that's not what we want to show. I really do believe in meeting people at their energy, right? And
yeah, exactly. I'm not a bully at all.
Pointing out where they're wrong and pushing back on those ideas. But the idea of like, you just need to go to 100 and snap down their throat at everything, it really creates a situation that for the left, our pundits can't win unless they get like either an A+ in the debate. Like they just absolutely stump them, which doesn't happen in most debates. Like sometimes it does, and it's awesome. It feels
especially if you're on the left,
right, when it does happen. But also it sets the standard of performance of being, you essentially have to potentially lose all moderates and normal people who are like not super politically locked in. They don't totally understand why you're so angry, and they just maybe see you being super aggressive and this guy being chill. A lot of viewers don't find that appealing. And so I understand people who are very politically informed. I understand their frustration, right? I understand them wanting to be like, just take their nose and make them smell their own, their doggy doo-doo, right? I want them to sit there and look at, they peed in the house and they need to look at it and smell it, right? And I understand, because I want that too.
Of course.
But we have to remember, I'm not just talking to that person. I am talking to 8,000 other people who might listen to this.
And obviously, as you know, with me, my style is I can get a little bit aggressive sometimes. But,
yeah,
a little bit. Yeah, like when you freaking were very aggressive toward Nick Shirley's mom. Yeah, it's a stupid mom too. Nick Shirley and stupid mom. Oh yeah, you could get a little bit aggressive, Brian. Just a little bit, just a tad. Every time you do those creep on the street segments, you always end up like scaring them off. Like they're always like, all right, well, hey, look, I'm going to go over here now. So bye.
Maybe sometimes some people might argue a little bit over the top, but I guess that's what Piers Morgan wants. And that's what some of these other shows want. And
definitely,
when somebody calls into the show and they're not a guest, there's somebody who calls in and says something very stupid. Like, for example, Trump won the 2020 election. And then I say, where's your evidence of widespread voter fraud? And they don't give me an answer. Then they're idiots. And I call them that. But if somebody comes on and I had Tina Peters on the show. I remember who she is. She's the one who just got out of jail, who claims she had Hunter Biden's laptop. Dean Cain yesterday called Hunter Biden a scumbag. And I said, why is Hunter Biden a scumbag? And he talked about the drugs and prostitution. And I said, so if you're a drug addict, that makes you a scumbag?
Yeah.
The guy's been clean for 7 years. Dean Cain's response, oh, I know that that's not true. Oh, really? How do you know that that's not true? Well, I can't tell you, but I know.
Wait, but then again.
But Brian does that all the time. Brian's always like, I know he lied about this. I know he's a liar. Well, how do you know, Brian? Are you a mind reader? No, but I just know he's a piece of shit. Brian does that all the time.
Are drug addicts just bad people ontologically?
No,
what's happening here?
It's a horrible thing to say. It's a disease. And I respect Hunter. And he did this show. That's not the only reason why I like him. But he talked about recovery and he's honest about it. And he talked about how he's helping people now that are struggling. So according to Dean Cain, and maybe he's not the best person to quote here, but Donald Trump, great guy. Hunter Biden, scumbag.
Crazy.
When it comes to
Hunter probably loves Jared Kushner too.
Yeah, probably. And I mentioned the $2.1 billion that Jared Kushner took. That's okay. But let's talk about Hunter Biden's paintings. But
Burisma.
It's insane. The hypocrisy is just insane.
Yeah.
And it's hard to take some of these people seriously when they're such hypocrites. And we're going to get to the Plattner stuff because I want to talk to you a little bit about that now. Because as you know, Plattner dropped out.
He has officially dropped out today?
That's my understanding. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So as I've said from the beginning, I don't like the Nazi tattoo, whether he didn't know what it was or not.
Sure.
I don't want somebody like that running for office.
Whether he knew what it was or not. Okay, Brian. If it were a Republican that had a Nazi tattoo, oh my God, Brian would be, he has a Nazi tattoo. How could you support a party that has a man in there that has a Nazi tattoo? But it's a Democrat. All of a sudden it's like, oh, well, listen, I don't know if he knows that that's a Nazi tattoo. Elon Musk does this. And then they're like, oh, Nazi salute. Nazi salute. Huh? See, look. Oh, but Garrett Plattner has a Nazi tattoo. Oh, well, listen, I don't know if he knew that was a Nazi tattoo. I mean, listen, whether I don't agree with it either way, but I don't know if he even knew. Maybe he didn't even know. Let's give him the benefit of a doubt. And by the way, we're at 309 likes. Let's go.
Office that at one point had a Nazi tattoo. I don't know if any of these allegations are true. He's got way too much baggage, way too many women that are probably credible that have come forward. This is the
probably credible. Oh, if it were Donald Trump. Yeah, but all these women, come on, they can't be lying. They're not lying. But they're probably credible. We don't know. We don't have any like hard proof or anything. They're probably credible. But just to play it safe, it's probably best if he like drops out. Just to be safe. He kind of makes the party look bad.
The right decision. I said the same thing about Eric Swalwell. As soon as that information came out, which is far more serious, we have video stuff. Yeah. He's with prostitutes. He's got more allegations. Scumbag. The Democrats did the right thing.
They did.
Now, if they can't find somebody to defeat Susan Collins, who I think is a complete imbecile, then that's going to be a problem.
Oh, I know. It makes me so nervous.
But I want to play you some audio, Kyla. This is from CNN last night.
Okay.
You have these right-wingers and Mr. Palumbo, who I'm actually friends with, and we talk on social media. I actually like him. I think he's a good guy. He was on the CNN panel yesterday, and he was talking about all the accusations against Donald Trump, and he was calling out the hypocrisy. And listen to this imbecile, Scott Jennings, who tries to defend the indefensible when they're talking about Plattner, but they don't want to talk about Donald Trump. Watch this.
President and the Republican Party. I was just going to ask, honestly, Scott, Peter, maybe you can answer this. As an independent, I really feel like everyone's abandoned any pretense of character in politics. But I do agree Republicans have been particularly egregious at that. And when we have this serious corroborated allegation against Graham Plattner, you have dozens of accusations against Donald Trump. One of them was litigated. You have a court finding against him. Isn't that significant more weight behind accusations against Donald Trump than there even is against Graham Plattner? How can one be disqualifying but not both?
Well, the president would say there isn't serious corroboration on these accusations.
There was a judgment.
That's what he would.
There was a judgment by a jury, a federal jury.
Yeah, and the person who accused him couldn't even remember when it happened.
Well, okay, so, that's the jury.
That's the argument.
That's the jury.
At the same time, Trump identified the person who accused him.
Well, the thing is, this whole thing is a pivot toward Trump. They're supposed to be talking about Plattner, and now it's like, but Trump. This whole thing has shifted to but Trump. But with far left liberal Palumbo right there, a fellow far left liberal. Heaven Sent says, Vic, when are you going to debate Brian Shapp again? Boy, where have you been? Heaven Sent. Bryce Shapp got me booted. I will not be debating Bryce Shapp because Bryce Shapp got wind that I was going to be there and he had me booted. So I will no longer be a part of the 1v10. So, yeah.
As his ex-wife in part in those proceedings. But what do you say? I mean, you said what Trump would say. What would you say? So the question that Brad had.
Look, my view is this. If there is serious allegations, if there's serious evidence or corroboration,
I mean,
everybody has to take responsibility.
To Brad's point, those are serious allegations.
Okay,
those are serious allegations. And then if you add to the, look, I don't want to, I think it is just a fair question that if you're going to be throwing the book at Graham Plattner, not just about what the women have accused him of, but also about his own statements about women and
then what about Trump?
And you should at the very least have a look at Donald Trump. He's on video saying that he could grab women by their genitals.
Have we not played that video 15,000 times?
That's exactly the point. That's exactly the
point. And the American people have voted. I think
okay. Well, then you should.
Well, I think that's what Graham Plattner is arguing, is that the main voters voted, and that's what Democrats said. Actually, no, that's not good enough. You are not a good enough candidate to hold this job, and that's a different position.
It was running.
So, Kyla, when I hear that and I hear the imbeciles, the right wingers on that panel, and Scott Jennings, who I think is just a scumbag. Well, Donald Trump.
Why is he a scumbag? Everyone on the right's a scumbag to this guy. Not true. Not unless they like me.
Trump would say that those accusations are not true. Well, Plattner said the accusations are not true as well. But if it's Trump and it's a Republican, Scott Jennings defends it. And by the way,
all of this is just a but Trump thing. It's all just a but Trump. That's it. Yeah, but what about Trump?
makes a great point as well.
Yeah, the difference is with Plattner, you have Brian literally sitting here and being like, well, I don't know if he was aware if that was like a Nazi tattoo. And listen, he's had accusations, but they're probably credible. Probably. Well, we don't know, but they're probably credible. So it's probably safe if he just drops out, just in case. But with Trump, it's like, all these allegations against him. Come on. They're all credible. Don't call them liars. Why would these women lie about it? And he would just believe everything Trump comes up with. Plattner, it's like, well, yeah, I don't know if he knew. But with Donald Trump, it's like, no, he knew. He's a horrible human being, despicable, 34-count felon. And he just immediately believes everything that's horrible about Trump.
A jury found that Donald Trump was liable for sexually abusing E. Jean Carroll, but Republicans still didn't care. They still voted for Donald Trump because they didn't like Kamala Harris. Yep. But this Plattner guy, bad. Now, listen, I agree with the Democrats. He should not be in the race. But I don't want to hear anybody on the right talk about this guy's personal life and accusations when they still support Donald Trump.
Yeah, it's this crazy double standard that I think is like so blindingly apparent that even independents who have, I would argue, some legitimate, some illegitimate criticism of Democrats are looking at this and going, this is an obvious double standard. We can't even begin to sort of pretend like Democrats aren't holding themselves to higher moral standards than Republicans are. The Stormy, the Stormy Daniels stuff with the hush money, right? Trump is indefensible. I mean, just recently he pardoned one of his pastor friends who had gone to jail, had been convicted of child sexual abuse, right?
What are they talking about? This is like when I debated that guy last week, Donald. He brought up how Trump pardoned a PDF file. And I was like, are you talking about the January 6er? Or is there another person that he pardoned? And the guy, he got these two people mixed up, the January 6er and this other guy who wasn't in prison for being a PDF file. What is this story that they're talking about? Are they talking about the January 6er? Or is this another person?
Is real. This is a reality. We still have his pastor friends who had gone to jail, had been convicted of child sexual abuse, right? This is real. This is a reality.
What was the name of the pastor, Erudite? What was the name of this pastor? Can we look it up? Look it up. Can we look it up? Give us names. Who are you talking about?
We still have Epstein stuff being blocked. There isn't a beginning level of
We've seen more of the Epstein files than anybody.
Comparison between these two things. It feels a lot like us looking at the Democrats who have been annoying and woke scolded and finger waved at people, and then comparing it to bona fide known sexual abusers and being like, man, I mean, everyone's just bad, right? And it's like, no, not the same. Actually, not the same bad.
Yeah, no, we wish that all they did was just finger wag and yell at us. No, that's not all you guys do. You guys are violent. You guys use violence. And then when we call out the violence, you go, well, there's no proof that it was someone from the left. There's no proof. Actually, it was a Trump supporter that did this. It was actually a Trump supporter that assassinated Donald Trump. It was actually a Republican that assassinated Charlie Kirk. And it's like, what the hell? No, it wasn't. Why would a Trump supporter try to murder someone that they support? Doesn't make any sense. And multiple, let alone multiple. Your guys are violent. You guys will tear down cities. You guys will literally get yourselves fighting ICE. You guys will freaking censor us. You guys will try to take away our right to go outdoors and go to public places if there's some kind of disease out there. You guys are tyrannical, absolutely tyrannical. I wish it was just you guys just lectured us and finger wagged at us. But no, it's far worse. You guys are tyrants. You guys are the worst. I will never vote for a Democrat again. The only way I would vote for a Democrat again is if the Republicans just became absolutely even 10 times worse than the tyrants that you are. That would be the only way I would vote for Democrat. But until that happens, ain't no way am I voting for a Democrat ever again.
Think about the picture of Al Franken. If you remember the picture when he was outed from office because he was pretending to grab a woman's boobs, right? It's a picture. And listen, inappropriate, shouldn't have been done. He was outed from office because of that picture. Now, what he did was inappropriate, maybe suspension, apologize, and he did apologize for that. And by the way, the woman that was in the picture that I guess was sleeping basically said, "Hey, I forgive him. It's not a big deal." You know, Democrats outed him for that, and I have a problem with that. And then, you know, Republicans allowing what they have allowed when we talk about the Matt Gaetz scandals, when we talk about obviously Donald Trump, and there's so many more. I just feel like it's a huge fundamental difference of many between Democrats and Republicans today. Swalwell was outed almost immediately, rightfully so. He's a scumbag. Almost every Democrat in DC was saying he needs to go. This is awful. I know one of the biggest Democrat donors who lives here in Vegas. His name is Stephen Klubeck. He is a gazillionaire. And apparently, I didn't know this, but Swalwell was living in one of his mansions in DC. Klubeck immediately said, "Get the hell out of here and don't come back." I just feel like Republicans and Democrats are very different when it comes to these sorts of issues. And this is another perfect example. I want to play for you some Donald Trump audio. So I want you to hear what Donald Trump said about Plattner on June.
You know, Brian, his friend George Santos, wasn't he a Republican that was in office? Who was in the government, and then he got ousted. So, yeah. Real quick, guys, make sure to click that like button and subscribe to my channel if you are enjoying.
6th. And then what Donald Trump said about Plattner yesterday about these allegations. Watch this.
As I go up the Democrats. Democrat. You know the Democrat?
Speaking of Democrats, do you think that the Democrats should be able to pick a replacement for Graham Plattner? He's had all these new allegations that have come out. Now Democrats are talking about picking a replacement for him. Should they be able to do that?
They're picking what?
A replacement for Graham Plattner if he steps out of the race.
So he won the primary.
And now there's these new allegations.
It's very hard for them to do. And it's really a question of whether or not you believe the woman. A lot of people say big falsehoods. It's he's in a bind. He's in a bind. But should they be able to do it? Well, I guess he's going to lose. I would imagine he's going to lose. It's very interesting when a Republican woman came out with the same charge, nobody believed it. When this woman came out, everybody believed it. Right, Doug? Did you get any pictures of it? You don't want them. They wouldn't sell them. So, any other questions?
So, Kyla,
now, what was wrong with that? I thought that was a pretty fair answer. It was a pretty fair answer. But of course, you know, it's Trump saying it, an orange man bad. So of course they're going to spurg out about it.
Woman, I would want to ask you, when you hear the president of the United States on what I consider these credible allegations, and by the way, Trump has had a lot of credible allegations. Well, I think over 25 women have accused him of sexual assault, including his ex-wife, in court documents. When you hear the president of the United States, and this is a Democrat he's talking about, saying these allegations are, he says, a lot of people say big falsehoods. I'm wondering what goes through your mind when you hear him say
Yeah, he didn't say they're definitely lying. He just says a lot of people say big falsehoods, meaning, yeah, these people might not be credible. He didn't say they're definitely not credible. He just said people make big falsehoods, which is true. People make big falsehoods. Women lie. Women lie.
Say that.
I mean, Republicans are always complaining about how, like, women, the repeal the 19th comes from, we can't trust women. They just only vote for Democrats. Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah.
But the Democrats are kicking out our sexual abusers and holding them to account.
Oh, yeah.
And saying,
yeah. Did they kick out Joe Biden? Joe Biden has had allegations against him. Bill Clinton had allegations against him. Actually, raw dogged Monica Lewinsky in the White House. So, yeah. If you want to talk about accusations, they also had accusations against them too. Democrats didn't out them.
Hey, you know, you should go through your trial. You should be looked at. But unfortunately, you shouldn't really be running for office when there are serious, credible sexual abuse allegations. Just not really what, you know, there's other people that are not.
So if you have allegations against you, you're not allowed to run for office now. This is Not So Erudite wanting to make liberals seem cool again. Oh, yeah, I hear that. I hear that as a man. And I'm like, wow, I really want to vote for this party where if you just have allegations against you, they don't think you should be running for office. Wow. Where can I sign up to be a part of the Take America Back Tour or Take America Back Tour? Where can I support? Yeah, she's really doing a good job there of fixing the PR on the liberals, right?
Going through serious criminal sexual abuse allegations we can look at. And then Republicans are dismissing it. And
oh, yeah, exactly. What about Destiny? Both these people are friends with Destiny. Destiny is a part of the Taking Back America tour. Oh, yeah. He has allegations against him. He's actually being sued over it. Huh?
Women are lying and, all these crazy, all these falsehoods against me. It's just like, women are just always making these false accusations. It's just, it's so utterly unshocking that women don't feel safe or comfortable in Republican spaces.
So I'm going to give you my opinion on allegations in general. Obviously.
Yeah, listen, if they're against Trump, they're obviously credible because Orange Man bad. But if they're against anybody else, especially me, all right, if they're allegations against me, you should really not listen to them. Those are not credible. Those are just right-wing mega mushroom gobblers. But if they're against Trump or a right-winger or a Republican, a mega Republican specifically, we should probably listen to them. What do you think about that, Kyla? Huh? Let's go. Let's read some super chats real quick. Proctologist for the 250. I'm never getting rid of that chair. Gross. I'm never getting rid of that chair, baby. Unhandy Rehab, thank you for becoming a new member. You now get access to all the previous live streams and to those sweet custom emojis. I just added a new W, so whenever someone gets W's, you can put the W's in the chat. Proctologist for the 5, you have your Michael Jackson starter kit. I have my Newsboy. We're both incredibly hip. Yeah, exactly. Adam for the 2, Trump probably raised his voice slightly. Scary, exactly. Rachel for the 4.99. By her absolutely regarded logic, we could prevent any man from ever running for office by simply alleging these things against him. Good idea. Yeah, exactly. She's doing a really good job there for that liberal PR. Thank you very much, Rachel Wilson, for the 4.99. I appreciate it. Nate the Eagle for the 5. Brian's talking points are like a B movie script with no rewrites. Doesn't change no matter how wrong he has proven he is in his heel era. Mm-hmm. Yep.
There are situations where women or men lie about sexual assault. It does happen, obviously.
Yep.
I go back to the Duke lacrosse scandal where you had a prostitute who claimed that she was raped by a bunch of Duke lacrosse players that were white. She's black. Color of skin really didn't have much to do with it, but it turned out that
it didn't really have much to do with it, but I brought it up anyway. I don't know why. If it doesn't have anything much to do with it, why bring it up then?
Lying. I think that's horrible, right? But I tend to believe victims. I believed Jussie Smollett. Okay, when that whole scandal came out, I thought that he was a victim. I was wrong. He's a scumbag. He lied. He made it up. He belongs in jail, and it hurts real victims. But I tend to, for the most part, believe victims. Now, the reason why I don't believe Nancy Mace, I think she's mentally disturbed.
Well, I don't believe her because she's right wing. She's a Republican, so that's why I don't believe her. I believe in women unless they're right wingers. Then I don't believe them. Mrs. D, thank you very much for gifting 5 Cool Vic memberships. And congratulations to... Where are the lucky winners? I don't see them. I don't see them. But congrats to anyone that got a gifted membership from Mrs. D. And thank you very much, Mrs. D. I appreciate it. Dale Phil for the 2. That chair smells like fish and shame. Probably.
Is because she's accused almost every man in her life of abusing her. She's lost every case in court. She mentions it in every interview.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Like, I can't see who got the gifts, but I don't know. YouTube just being YouTube, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Guess who Nancy Mace supports? The liable sexual abusing Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
I don't believe Nancy Mace. There are exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, I tend to believe E. Jean Carroll, and I tend to believe Plattner's alleged victims as well. That's kind of like, unless you give me a reason not to believe you, I'm going to believe you. That's kind of like, does that make sense? That's kind of my take.
I'm a big trust and verify person, right? And so I think one of the bad things about social media is that there's a lot of people who can kind of just say whatever they want with very little repercussions.
She's a very trust and verify person, even though she just said, yeah, if you have allegations against you, you shouldn't be allowed to run for office.
Right. And I think that has created weird incentives. I think Gen Z specifically is really struggling with this social media element that's now been included into dating. But in general, one of the things that's really important here is looking at the difference, for example.
Yeah, I believe Sarah Spector then, Brian. Yeah, listen, well, don't believe her.
of certain allegations that are not credible just upon kind of hearing it, as we talked about with like Nancy Mace. There's an issue on internet with like Katie Bugs, for example, and then people who have long-standing credible evidence, multiple witnesses telling that they have said the same story consistently for the next like 4 to 5 years, right? Especially in situations where a court, like, people don't understand, if a court finds you liable or guilty of any of these sort of things, the burden of proof on the victim is so high because it is ultimately oftentimes a he said, she said situation, which is why so many situations of sexual abuse do not get the proper justice that they genuinely deserve. And that is
look at the Epstein
huge,
files.
it's a huge glaring issue. And there's both sexism, unironic sexism at play, but then there's also these major judicial limits with the he said, she said stuff, which money really comes to play on that. But when a jury finds somebody liable and you're still supporting it, I'm sorry, the burden of evidence is so high at that point. Like, I'm sorry, when somebody is convicted, I'm like, yeah.
They say the opposite.
Yeah, it happens. It happened, guys.
They say the opposite about being found liable. And I disagree. A jury needed to come to that conclusion. By the way, the judge characterized it as rape. He characterized it as rape. The jury had an opportunity. And I'm so sick of these people out there that they call E. Jean Carroll a liar. It is interesting because Donald Trump's ex-wife was in a deposition under oath and claimed that Donald Trump raped her. And then if you talk to
I see Dragon Fist TV's in the chat. Good to see you, Dragon Fist TV. Dragon Fist TV, listen, Brian might have kicked me out and banished me from that debate, but I hear that Dragon Fist TV is still going to be there. So listen, make sure to, because that's a talking point he always brings up, the E. Jean Carroll thing, and then his ex-wife accusing him of rape. Make sure you look that up and thoroughly debunk that.
Maggie will say, well, she retracted. Well, why did she retract?
I wonder why.
He paid her off. He paid her off. It's so obvious. There are 25 other women that I would consider credible. This is way before he decided to run for office. It'd be one thing if everybody came out after he decided to run for office. Okay, that would be a little suspicious, right? Not saying it couldn't happen, but a little suspicious. Most of these women came forward way before he ever ran for office. And he's named 40,000 times in the Epstein files. Millions of files we still haven't seen. Credible allegations from a 12-year-old girl who the FBI thought it was credible enough that they interviewed her.
And then what happened? They found she wasn't credible, Brian. He always leaves that part out. He always leaves that part out that, yes, they looked into her and they found out she wasn't credible, that she lied.
Limousine driver who claimed that he overheard Trump talking about it.
Yeah.
And we're just supposed to believe that all these women are lying. The Epstein files, ladies and gentlemen, nothing to see here. You have a bunch of rich white men. It's funny how everybody on the far right seems to want to claim that black people are committing all the crimes in this country. Why is it always the rich white guys in the Epstein files?
No one's claiming that blacks are committing all of the crimes. We're saying they're committing a disappropriate amount of the crimes because they're a small part of the population, but they're committing a lot of the crimes. They're not committing all of the crimes.
Don't see any black people that are named in the Epstein files. It's always those rich white guys.
How do you know? Brian doesn't even know who's in the Epstein files. Brian doesn't even know. When Benjamin Michael brought up that that Jews are overrepresented in the Epstein files, he's like, do you even have a list of names? You don't even know who's in it. Can you show me a list of names? So Brian doesn't even know. For all we know, it could be a bunch of black people in the Epstein files. We don't know. No, Brian doesn't know.
It just drives me nuts. And then, whether it be Andrew Wilson or others, and I really don't want to bring his name up too much here, but when I debated him, he called all the women who have accused Donald Trump of sexual.
Andrew Wilson. He's talking about Andrew. Because remember, he spurred against Andrew about the whole, why do you call him lying bitch? And then like a week or two later, he had a video titled Caroline Leavitt is a lying bitch.
Proprieties, all the women he called. I really don't want to bring his name up too much here, but
he wants to. He really wants to.
When I debated him, he called all the women who have accused Donald Trump of sexual improprieties, all the women, he called them lying effing B-word. He called them all that. But if you call his wife a name, you went way over the line.
Yeah.
It's very hard to have reasonable.
But when you call his wife a name and harass her in her DMs, that's bad. Oh, Bryce Schapp, bad. But if you call those women that accuse Donald Trump lying bitches, that's okay. But if you harass his wife in the DMs, oh yeah, no, then he has a problem with it. What a hypocrite, right?
Conversations today with really anybody on the other side, let alone people like that.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking the like utter and absolute disregard that I think so many
yeah, exactly. Then Rachel agreed.
people still have for women, and like the reality of the constant sexual pressure that they're under, the constant eyes that they're under. I mean, most women, I talk to women all the time, even in the political space. And there's this constant question of going, am I successful or do people just want to sleep with me? Right? Like that's just a lived reality of so many women. And the reality is that
I wish I could have that same attitude. No.
Right. And so this issue of like, do powerful men, especially powerful men 30 years ago, right? Like already people don't take women's sexual abuse claims very seriously, especially once you're in judicial spaces, right? Think about 30 years ago. 30 years ago, it was just like chill for old men to talk about how hot 16-year-olds were. But like people like wouldn't even like look weird at it. They'd be like, oh yeah, that 16-year-old is hot. And like things have improved. And I'm glad that people are like, that's weird. Please don't do that. You're a 40-year-old man, right? Yeah. You're actually a predator when you do that. But it's just so mind-boggling that so many people will like be like, yeah, you know, especially on the Republican side, they're so anti-sex, they're so against lust. They're these Christian, there's Christian good boys and good girls, and yet all these Christian good boys and good girls, apparently just nobody's getting. Just we're all making it up, even though like it's the oldest crime. It's like one of the most established things. It's just everyone wonders why women's genes are more common than men's genes, right? That's a common talking point. Well, most men, their genes aren't passed through. Yeah. Because women are raped like all the time through all of history. Yeah, there's a reason. Because because they're the only ones that
look
can
at clergy. Look at all the young.
I mean, do men's genes not get passed down if it's through rape? The hell is she talking about? What the hell is she talking about?
Boys that have been raped in the church. They certainly the cover up. They didn't want to talk about that. And I do find most of the people that are anti-porn are claim they are anti-porn, or some of the people.
Oh my gosh, these freaking two are the worst.
People that watch more porn than anybody else.
Yeah, don't these liberals? These seem super cool. What are you talking about? I'm a registered independent. Of course, I'm not supposed to seem cool, but Kyla's totally cool. I call her Cool Kyla. What do you guys think about that one, huh? Totally original. But yeah, don't these liberals seem totally cool? Don't you hear these people talking and like, wow, I really want to hang out with these people.
Look at some weirdo like Mike Johnson, who has some app where he monitors the porn that his son watches. How bizarre is that? Why are all these people so anti-OnlyFans? I don't understand that either. I've always come from the approach of, if somebody wants to sell their body and it's legal.
Rachel says, oh, you can tell she's been researching my talking points for our debate. Yeah, I know, but doesn't seem to have learned anything at all. It just seems like it just makes her mad.
And they want, then let them do it. And if people want to buy it, it is legal. Let them make a living. Let them do it. As long as nobody's forcing.
Rachel says she's referring to my argument where I say that women have a historic genetic advantage over men that is built in because we have twice as many genes from our female ancestors as we do from male. Yeah, I've heard you talk about that before. I just don't know. But her response is just, that's because men grape. That's the best that she could think of. If that's what she has to respond to you, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're gonna destroy her. Like, absolutely.
Anybody to do anything as long as they're of legal age. 45 minutes from Las Vegas. I don't even know if you knew this. Not that I frequent the establishment, but 45 minutes from Las Vegas, prostitution's legal, right? But guess what? They are checked for diseases. There's security there.
They're safe.
Yeah, and it's right, exactly. And I don't know. I don't understand these people that are so anti-porn and OnlyFans, but yet they
an anti-OnlyFans. Can you believe I sent this young man a topless photo of this hottie that I know, this absolute baddie that I know, topless, and can you believe it? This little freaking queen, this Essler, he didn't like it. He said, how dare you? So I said, I've never seen someone be so appalled at before. What a freaking Essler, am I right? I said, I feel bad for your parents for raising such a snowflake. And then I told them to report me. Piece of shit. That's what I told him. Scumbag. I come in here with my generosity. I gave him a free picture, a free topless picture of this baddie that I know, and he rejects it. My generosity. How dare this kid? Can you believe it, Kyla? What's going on with these kids nowadays? Can't even send them a picture of a topless woman. Gosh.
Voted for Donald Trump. It's like it's the hypocrisy is weird. On the YouTube super chat, Lori said there are allegations that Ohio Representative Max Miller beat his wife, and they're not doing anything about it. Brian, you're a great actor when you return the MAGA hat. Oh, thank you. That was funny. So that's actually on a side note.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lori, for your support. I did return the MAGA hat that Tim Pool forced me to wear at the World Series of Poker.
Okay.
And I said the reason why I was returning it is because everybody was calling me a racist, and they bought it. So I conned Donald Trump in his own hotel. So I was very proud of that.
Nice.
That was very interesting. So another topic that I wanted to talk to you about, if you're just joining us, Kyla Turner, very popular liberal influencer. We got a big event, Take America Back, doing some debates tomorrow. I'm going to be emceeing it, which I'm very excited to actually be able to enjoy other people debating. I don't have to debate myself because I've been doing a lot of that lately, and I'm tired, quite frankly.
And also, I'm not a debater. Yeah, I'm not a debater, but yet I debate so much, but I'm not a debater.
George Santos is going to be debating Destiny in Las Vegas. I can promise you that's going to be an entertaining debate. I can promise you that. People can say what they want about George Santos. He is entertaining.
Yeah.
He is funny. So that's going to be really good. Micah Irfan is Adam Mockler's debate coach.
Yep.
He's going to be debating tomorrow as well. And a guy who did this show, who I actually like. I enjoyed having him on. Deaf Noodles, Dennis, is going to be debating Andrew as well there, not Andrew Wilson. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be tomorrow night. Before I get to my next video audio clips, can you tell people how, and we'll do this again at the end of the show, how people can buy tickets? Where do they go?
Yeah. So if you guys just go anywhere, Take Back America tour is online. If you
let's see, let's get to some super chats. Third for the $1.99. I had a short one on this show at a minute and 36. Oh, okay. Or an hour and 36. All right, good to know. Thank you very much, Third. And thank you again, Third, for the $1.99. But Trump can't raw dog Prawn Star for 10 seconds. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know why they're so anti-corn. Even though Donald Trump, raw dog Stormy Daniels, according to Brian Shapiro. So crates for the 2. Look up the Little Tykes tweet from Destiny 2022. I don't know if I do. I don't know if I want to, but if anyone wants to look it up, there you go. Thank you very much, So Crates, for the 2. And lastly, thank you very much, Intel is Wild, for gifting 5 cool Vic memberships. And it's weird. YouTube's being gay. They're not showing who is getting gifted these memberships, but whoever received these gifts, these generous gifts, congratulations. And thank you very much, Intel is Wild, for your generosity. You think Brian needed a 15-minute break after this interview? Oh, yeah, definitely. Just like with Shannon Elizabeth.
Been raised through small donations for big small donations. Economy of America. And the third
is going on. We have some problems in Iran. We've known from the beginning that this war was an absolute joke. It wasn't thought out.
Nope.
The Strait of Hormuz is closed. It's open, then it's closed. We had all those school children that were murdered by this Tomahawk missile, which the Trump administration is still not taken
responsibility for, because as we all know, all presidents have taken responsibility for their mistakes. Yeah, that's just a regular thing up until Trump. John Ria Smith, thank you very much for the $5. You stream so late, it's bedtime for me. Gonna dream about the blind moose paw. Oh no, not the blind moose paw. Thank you very much, John Ria. Andrew may have never been more correct than when he called this shit out for being completely unlikable. Yeah, I agree. That was the most spot on take about a person, is when Andrew said that she has a likability problem. 100%.
Responsibility for. And, the regime change, you can make the argument more radical maybe than the prior regime. What have we accomplished there? I don't even know. So with all that being said, Iran now has, returned to their attacks. We're attacking them. They're attacking us. The ceasefire is over. But I want to play you this kind of split screen of Donald Trump just in the last couple weeks, reversing his statements on Iran. They're smart. They're great. They're terrible. They're scum. This is Donald Trump contradicting himself in just the last couple weeks. Watch this.
John Ria for the 2. Also, I can fix her. All right. Well, good luck with that, John Ria. Thank you very much for the 2. All right. Well, I'm going to skip ahead. I want to see when we get to the phone calls. Because, I can only stand this for so long.
attack you, at least not right away.
Okay, cool. But I'm
and saying that it was some sort of gay relationship and Paul Pelosi let him in. Well, the guy's spending 30 years in jail for attempted murder. Never heard any apologies. He never heard any retractions. It's another one of my big criticisms on the right. They'll lie on social media. They'll spread conspiracy theories. Then when it's proved that they were lying or it's untrue, they never retract. And I don't understand all these, fact checks on the bottom. I forgot what you call it, but the
community notes.
Yeah, the community notes. You could get community noted 100 times in a month and you're not going to get suspended. What's the point of a community note?
Yeah.
It's a joke. Yeah. But yeah, that's a big fundamental difference. Listen.
What's wrong with I'm fine with a person not getting suspended if they have community notes. Like if they have community notes that shows you why they're wrong and then with links to the actual facts, why does a person have to get suspended? Like if you're just trying to fight disinformation, as long as you're getting community noted, I mean, isn't that all that matters?
I wish Mitch McConnell the best. It sounds like he's either no longer with us or he's brain dead. It's one or the other. Nobody's had 20-minute conversations with him. You're all a bunch of liars.
Yeah, brain dead basically means brain dead is technically medically dead. It's just he's not going to be declared dead until
and that's exactly what's going on here. And by the way, if it wasn't true, he'd be doing an interview or his family would be doing an interview and say, well, he's a little sick, but he's fine. They're not doing that because they know what's going on is not what the Republicans are spewing. All right, let's get to the phone calls. Phone lines are full. 702-221-7283. You're listening to 107.1 FM, 1400 AM, KSHP. Let's start off with Jason, who's calling out of Idaho. Hi, Jason. You're on with Kyla. What's going on?
Hi, Jason.
Nothing much. I just wanted to say hi, and I liked your show.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very nice of you. I appreciate that.
I'm an independent voter, and I would never vote for the orange guy.
Nice.
Well, you're a smart man, of course.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you're a real independent like me.
I would never. That guy is not all with it.
No.
Well, he's not, but you still hear people on the right saying Joe Biden in the bunker when this idiot, what did he say about Japan the other day? I played the audio clip.
No.
Yeah, I mean, that press conference, I mean, this guy is so out of it. He called Zelensky Putin multiple times in that press conference. I mean,
Newsom the president.
Yeah, he's a nut. He said that that Jeb Bush got us in the war in Iraq. He said once that he beat Obama in the elections. He said you need to ID to buy bread. I mean, this guy said so many crazy things. But God forbid if Joe Biden stutters a little bit because he has a stuttering problem, that guy's in the bunker. I mean, it's.
Well, I like how they downplay it. Yeah, it's because he stuttered a little bit. Yeah, no, this guy literally had to be guided by the Easter Bunny. That's how bad he was.
It's insane, man. It's insane.
Yeah, I agree with you fully. I have some of my family members, like my dad, has voted for him and for Trump, and he doesn't like it that I just disagree with him.
Here's what I want you to do.
Here's
what I want you to do. I need you to do me a favor, okay? Next time you speak to your dad,
you tell him to shut his mega mushroom gobbling mouth. Tell him to take the mega wax out of his ears. Take his little mega fingers, and tell him to get out.
Say Brian Shapiro said you're a Trump mushroom gobbler.
Well, I was close.
Can you do that for me?
Yeah, I can do that.
Right, and then call me.
We already had already had the disagreement over it, and I just had to.
And then I just called him a mega mushroom gobbler, Brian, just like you did, Brian. You're my hero, Brian. I said, you're a mega mushroom gobbler, Dad. Just like what my hero, Brian Shapiro, would tell you.
I mean, he quit communicating with me for a while.
Oh, geez. I'm sorry to hear
contact me either. It happens.
I get calls every day from people or families are split up because of this. And it's, I'm really sorry to hear that. It's really sad, but it sounds like you take after your mom. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the call, my friend. Stay safe out there in Idaho. And your father sounds like a Trump mushroom gobbler. It brings me no solace. It's a little funny to say that. Stephen is calling out of Georgia, 702-221-7283. Hey, Stephen, what's up?
Hey, man. First of all, I just had to say, I love what you're doing, Brian. I love it.
Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate you. Thank you for saying that.
Now, I did vote for Trump. I did vote for him.
Okay, that's all right. I'm not going to attack you, at least not right away.
Okay, cool. But I'm going to tell you why I voted for him.
Okay.
And it had nothing to do with Kamala Harris. I just thought that this time Trump would be a different person. Okay? I thought that this time Trump would stand up on his so-called policies. I thought that he would be
like, which policy did you think you said, okay, I think he's going to stand up on that one? Which one?
Okay, this is what that got me. It was the health care. Even though he kept saying, we have a plan, we have a plan, we have a plan.
Right,
I was
Concepts
thinking.
of a plan.
Concepts, yeah. Kyla says it was concepts. Yeah, that's true.
Right. So all it was a concept, Now he's president, and we have no health care plan.
That's true.
Okay, so that pissed me off.
Can I ask you, Stephen?
Right?
Can I challenge you on that for a moment? So you're correct.
Yeah.
You're correct.
But why did you vote for him?
By the way, I think it's brave of you. Let me just say this, to call into the show. And
by the way, you sound black, sir. I just got to say, you sound black, but you're obviously not black because you didn't vote for Joe Biden.
Say you made a mistake and you regret it and admit that you voted for Trump. I give you credit for that. Let me just start by saying that, because most people won't even do that. But he did say when he was president, the plan was coming in 2 weeks. The plan was coming in a month. Do you remember the 60-minute interview? I don't know if you remember this, Kyla, where Trump's doing an interview. And Kayleigh McEnany, that idiot, comes in there with this big binder. Here's my healthcare plan. It wasn't a healthcare plan. It was nonsense. And he kept
pages.
So my question to you is, after 4 years, when he doesn't have a replacement plan, what made you think he was going to do it this time? I guess that's my question.
Well, again, listening to first of all, my family has always voted Republican. Okay, always.
Okay.
I can go back to my great grandmother. She voted Republican, basically.
Right.
So,
really,
I think
your grandmother voted Republican, but she's black, sir. Why would you do that? Or why would she do that? I mean,
basically, for me, it was like the fall in line thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not for me. I was never really political. I really didn't care about any of it.
I understand.
But as I started getting older, I started realizing that someone has to be in office to look out for us.
All right. So I get the healthcare. You're disappointed about the healthcare. Okay, fine. Let me ask you this. If the elections were held tomorrow and it was still Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump, who do you vote for?
I would vote for Kamala.
Okay, well, I respect that. I respect that.
I think one of the most important things is the journey that you're on, Stephen. And I think when I remember when we lost the election to the popular.
Whenever a woman starts off with, it's all about the journey, you know you're about to hear the worst take.
Vote. I had expected us to lose the election. I didn't expect us to lose the popular vote. It was a moment of political reckoning where I go, my internal thinking systems were pretty far off. And so now I just need to do the honest work of going, why was I off? Which is uncomfortable and thankless, and almost no one will be nice to you. But I think it's really cool that you're calling in and kind of doing that journey. And I really respect it. And I wish you the best in figuring this out.
The important thing now, Stephen, is that you get out there and you vote in the midterms. That's really important.
Of course.
It's really important, Stephen.
Because this dude don't want us black people to vote.
That's true. He really doesn't.
And I didn't.
You know, it's crazy. I didn't even know. You didn't even tell me that you were black until now, but I was already able to figure out that you were black, sir. It's kind of weird, huh?
None of that actually dawned on me.
It's kind of like a gift I have. If you would have told me that your name was Taquan, but you didn't sound black, I would have immediately known. The red flags would have gone up. Oh, no, this guy ain't black. But there's just something about the way that you talk and how you spoke. I immediately knew you were black, sir. So, hey, shout outs to me.
Until he actually got into office.
Yeah.
He got into office the first day and he started firing every black person in government.
Also true.
So
did you know, Stephen, can I ask you, Stephen, as an African-American male, were you aware of the thousands of discrimination lawsuits before you voted for him? Were you aware?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I knew about it.
And you still voted for him?
Look, man, I'm from New York.
Okay.
All right. As a younger man in my 20s, I used to have a client in Trump Towers. When I would walk through there and go to the 18th floor.
Yeah. So wait a minute, sir. You would sell drugs at Trump Towers? How did you go from being caught? You would go meet a client there?
I would get stopped and hey, what are you doing here?
That's horrible.
One guy actually told me
I mean, sir, what kind of country do we live in where a man can't even sell drugs in Trump Towers? Like, get over it. It's just drugs.
Stop me because black people steal.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But that's part of the reason why I didn't vote for Trump, though, because I knew that stuff, right? Now, listen, I didn't vote for Hillary or Trump in 2016, and I made a mistake. But when I heard of these stories and discrimination lawsuits and all this other stuff, I'm like, I can't vote for this guy. I can't do it. So what would be your message now, Stephen? You're somebody who voted for Trump. Okay. You regret it. You would vote for Kamala tomorrow if you could. Okay, great. I respect that. What would be your message to other people out there, minorities even, that are still Trump supporters? What would be your message to them?
My message to them would be to start doing some research. Stop watching the news. Number one, stop watching the news.
Well, let them still watch my show though. That's okay.
Yeah, because technically this isn't the news. So yeah, that's true.
Don't watch everything else. Just watch Pushing the Limits.
And again, I have respect for any Republican that can say, well, yeah, this dude was wrong. But when you get these guys who now they want to fight because you have an opinion, okay? Now, let me tell you something real quick, and I'm going to let you guys go.
Okay.
I went and bought a T-shirt that said, I voted for Trump. He lied to me, and I'm pissed. And I wore that shirt to Walmart. Do you know that I almost had to have 5 different fights with 5 different people?
Oh, my gosh.
One guy said, you got a nerve to wear that T-shirt here? And my response was, well, I'm not from Thomaston. I'm from New York.
You know what my response would have been?
And sir, that must have been really hard. Normally you would go to Walmart, you'd probably just get into 2 fights, right, sir? But you got into 5 that day? That's terrible, sir. I feel you, my brother.
You're right. I probably shouldn't wear this shirt in front of so many trailer trash people in Walmart. That's probably
right.
That probably would have been
right. I try to be a little
all due respect to people that live
trailer
in
trash in New York.
I'm just saying in general.
Right. Right.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and what I really want to say was not all Republicans are MAGA, and that's what I told these
I agree. The guy that was on this show, Dennis, Deaf Noodles Dennis, the other day, he's not MAGA. There are people, obviously Dean Cain yesterday, he's very much MAGA. But listen, you make a good point. Stephen, I wish there were more people like you out there, but I will say this. There are a lot of you out there, and that's why it's going to be a bloodbath for Republicans in the midterms. So, Stephen, I appreciate you calling in, and I appreciate you admitting that you made a mistake. That is the first step.
And I hope that's a lesson for everyone else who's listening to you.
Yeah.
That, I'm a 65-year-old black man. I do very well in life. Okay. I'm pretty well educated.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to take a vacation right now, I could do that and not have any problems. Okay.
Yeah.
Trump has not made my life easier. Bills gone up. My premium has jumped up $183.
Yeah.
So I'm pissed.
Well, you should be.
Now,
you should be.
All I want to know is, what are you going to do for me since I voted for you?
Well, he doesn't care about
you.
And
I'm getting nothing.
Well, he doesn't care about.
He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about blacks. Did you know he took out the bust of Martin Luther King from the Oval Office? Clearly, he doesn't care about you.
He doesn't care about me. He only cares about himself and maybe a few of his close friends and donors. That's it. Listen, Stephen, I appreciate you calling in, and I think it's brave to at least admit that you were wrong, and that's a good step. Kyla, those calls are few and far between.
We've had 2.
We've had a couple, though. Yeah. So, and they're listening to this show. So if I had a small part of that, then good. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. That is the first step from getting rid of the MAGA herpes. I'm so immature. But that's the first step, though. You have to admit that you're wrong.
Yeah.
You have to admit that you made a mistake. Get out of that Trump fellatio syndrome spam that you're in. Admit that you're wrong. I made a mistake. I'm going to do better research. And moving forward, I can't vote for a MAGA Republican. That is a win.
Yeah.
I'll take that as a win.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate the call, Stephen. Thank you very much. MAGA herpes. I'm so immature, Kyla. I don't know. I'm like 46 going on 12.
That's why people love you on the show.
Yeah. Well, let's go to David, who's calling.
I'm so bad.
Calling out of San Diego. I love San Diego. What's up, David?
Hey, how are you guys?
Good.
Brian and also Kyla.
Yeah.
Disagree with you both heavily, but glad to see that you guys are on the board for free speech.
Sure. Absolutely.
Unlike your president.
So can I ask you, David, if you don't mind, like, what do you, for both of us, like, what's the one big thing in this show that you disagree on, if we can touch on it?
Oh, it's honestly ticky-tack stuff. Again, it's not even really about politics, just mainly lifestyle stuff.
Well, tell me. You can open up to us. We're open to criticism. I don't mind you.
Oh yeah, no. And that's what I was going to ask. Funny enough, just wanted to make sure whether it was open topics or whatever. So yeah, first thing with you, Brian, it would only be kind of the situation. I forget when it happened, but I think you were debating Jay Dyer, I think is his name.
Okay.
Anyways, saw the video and
Kyla debated Jay Dyer as well, and she did a very good job, and he was an absolute douchebag to her. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. That's what happened.
No, not a problem. Again, I don't want to take over the show or anything, but
you're good.
Freaking Brian throwing her under the bus too. You know, I wasn't the only one that was destroyed by Jay Dyer. Kyle over here was also destroyed by her.
As well, for the first thing for you was that I think that you were attempting to tell him that it was basically whenever you two were talking about whether or not women should be in the workplace. Yeah. Specifically, one of the things is that I think overall, whenever we take a look at the economic state of everywhere else, whenever they do have kind of, I guess they would call it traditional or conservative. I'm not conservative. I just saying it just for the sake of it, that women specifically, whenever they fill women roles kind of in the home and men fill men roles, they tend to do a lot better in society.
Where is that study? Or is that just an opinion?
I mean, you could, you could take a look at also the Nordic studies, the Scandinavian ones as well.
The Scandinavian studies are about job preferentialism. It's not about women being in the home. It's about women generally tend to prefer nursing and teaching.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing, is that culturally, whenever we come from nurturing and also being able to teach younger kids.
So what do you?
It sounds like women can nurture in the workplace if they want to, and also if they don't want to. Right?
Exactly.
They can nurture in their workplace. Ooh, their boss or coworker.
Oh yeah, but that's again just kind of one of the, we would get more metaphysical on the terms, and so that's where I mean
what's
that
metaphysical?
Hey, whenever,
what's the metaphysical?
Basically talking about that. Hey, they're working by definition, but it's under again that the feminine nurturing role, which is
a teacher not working, or what do you mean by that?
Yeah, but that's where I'm meaning is that whether or not they got a check at the end of the day, they're still being nurturing and taking care of children.
Okay, so do you have a problem with a woman being, I don't know, an engineer?
No, but that's again, whenever you were talking about the Scandinavian, like, not that I'm not.
Well, you tried to present the Scandinavian study as evidence that women like to be at home nurturing. And I said, well, that's a misuse of the Scandinavian study. And the Scandinavian researcher who came out about that, who it's his study, said Jordan Peterson particularly is absolutely abusing this. And when they tried to redo it 6 years later, it didn't replicate. And in fact, we saw way less preferentialism.
Yeah, and so again, one of the things, because I don't want to get lost over my point, I have no problem, again, your guys' show, your whole way.
Well, what do you say about the fact that the study didn't replicate?
Yeah, well, again, I can answer that right now. I just wanted to make sure that I'd be able to go back beforehand. So the reason that it didn't replicate during this time is because one of the things is that we're dealing with, it's not that we're dealing with the internet, quote unquote, it's the social media, Justin.
Hey, real quick, I barely just saw this, but Rob rated the Rumble stream over there. Thank you very much, Rob. Normal America with Rob North. If you guys aren't subscribed to him yet, I don't know why you're not subscribed to Rob. But thank you very much for the Rumble raid. Appreciate it.
General is dealing with en masse with just.
Do you want to know why it didn't replicate? It didn't replicate because it had a larger N sample size. So typically, as you have a study, you have a small sample size, you might get like 420 people. And then typically, if it's a novel finding, we'll try to replicate it later with a larger sample size, which will be a more accurate representation of reality because it's a better bite of people. And when you take a larger chunk of people, that finding went away because the study was actually higher quality methodologically.
So thank you, Kyla, for describing that. David, I'm not sure what you disagree with me on. I'm going to be very clear.
Listen, I don't know if what she said is true or not. It most likely wasn't, but that was still a better refutation of like a study than what Brian did with Benjamin. What was the methodology? What did they do? Oh, he didn't know that detail? Ha ha! Dismantled. Thank you guys very much for helping me complete the super chat goal, guys. Hell yeah. Now let's see. The Bryce Chapman, hide your kids and hide your wives, and especially hide your moms, especially if you're Nick Shirley, because for some reason he really hates Nick Shirley's mom. So be careful. The creep on the street is going to come after you. Rachel says, as somebody with a degree in psychometry, Kyla should be well aware of the replication crisis within her own field. Yet she cites psychological and sociological studies all the time. That's actually a very good point, Rachel.
My opinions, okay? I don't care what people think. If you're a woman, I do not care what is between your legs. If you want to have a career, you should be allowed.
As a woman, I don't care what's. Wait, what? Did he say as a woman again? He always says that as a woman. Is Brian a woman?
With me on, I'm going to be very clear in my opinions, okay? I don't care what people think. If you're a woman,
if you're a woman,
do not care what is between your legs.
If you're a woman, I don't care what's between your legs. Well, if they're a woman, I hope it's not a ding-a-ling.
If you want to have a career, you should be allowed to have a career.
Life is short.
If you want to be a stay-at-home mom, you should be allowed to stay-at-home mom. If you want to do both, you should be allowed to do both. And some dude shouldn't tell you what you should or shouldn't do. We should all have the same rights and abilities to do what we want to do. And I also don't know what it's like to be pregnant, and I would assume you don't either. What do you disagree with me on as far as that statement? I want everybody to have the freedoms to be able to work, to be able to make a living. If you want to be a career woman, you should be allowed to do that. And people shouldn't chastise you for that. What is your issue with my opinion? What do you disagree with that on? You think women should be forced to be in the kitchen? I don't understand.
Yeah, no. So, well, one of the things too is I want to make sure if I'm getting asked rhetorical questions where I can't respond, and I
just asked you a question. What do you disagree with me on? I'm asking you a direct question right now.
I don't know why you're kind of raising your voice at me.
Okay, hold on. Pot him down. Excuse me, sir. What do you disagree with me on? I hope I'm not saying.
See how I'm handling this mega mushroom gobbler, Kyla? What do you think about that, baby?
Speaking too loud for you. Sir, you told me you disagree with me about women in my debate with you. I'm sorry, sir, am I talking to low enough for you? I just wanted to make sure you were comfortable.
No. It was just you. What do you have a problem with?
Okay. Because you've been on the phone now for 5 minutes. Kyla just destroyed you with this study. You don't know what you're talking about. She just proved it. Tell me right now. Tell me. Okay, here's
rhetorical. Hold on. Define rhetorical.
Yeah, basically, you asked me a question, inevitably knowing at the end of it where you were going to interrupt me whenever you said, "What do you think the study is?"
That's not a rhetorical. I'll ask you again. What's a rhetorical? What does rhetorical mean?
You're asking me for the literal definition of rhetorical?
Yeah. What is it? You said I asked you a rhetorical question, so I want you to outline what was rhetorical there. I asked you a direct question.
Hyperbolically, basically, that you were asking me.
What was hyperbolic?
Intent for me not to answer.
So hyperbolic means rhetorical.
Me saying that you were asking me a rhetorical question.
So rhetorical means hyperbolic.
If you want to get drug up in semantic games, I mean that's totally fine.
It's your words.
Again, like I said before, I was trying to go.
Sir, I don't know. I mean, my opinion is, I'm not. Sir, I think you should be in the kitchen. I really do. I don't think you should be out there in the workforce. That's my personal opinion. Because you've been on the phone now for almost 10 minutes and you still haven't told me what you disagree with me on. Are you going to answer my question?
I attempted to, but
then do it. Then do it. Stop playing the victim. Do it. What do you disagree with me on?
Oh, yeah. So once again, is that I never said that every woman needs to be in the kitchen. I say that whenever we take a look at Scandinavia.
What do you disagree with me on? I don't care about what do you disagree with me on? I just gave you my opinion on women in the workplace. What that statement that I just made, what do you disagree with me on? It's a very fair question. Please answer it.
Yeah, you were saying basically about what I was talking again about, which I don't know why it's so complicated, is that women, even though that you want them to be able to work in the workplace, whenever
it's not that I want them. You're wrong. It's not that I want them. It's that I want them to have the choice. Do you not understand the difference? Yeah. I want people to live their lives and do what they want to do. What do you disagree with about that? That's what I was trying to say to Dyer.
No, it was just
Dyer is a. Do you like Chris Dyer? Do you think he's a good dude? Do you like Chris?
Jay,
I'm sorry. I'm thinking of another Dyer. Do you like Jay?
Yeah, no. Do I like him?
Yeah, is he a good guy? He doesn't think that women should vote. He doesn't think that women should be politicians. He's a misogynist pig. Do you disagree with Dyer? He thinks that
he's a misogynist pig?
That women should be in the kitchen. They shouldn't be allowed to be politicians. They shouldn't be allowed to be CEOs or any of that stuff. Do you disagree with Mr. Dyer?
Oh no! Whenever I was watching the video, he had said that this is the most optimal. Again, he was totally fine with women even having.
No, he's not. He said in my he's not. He said in my debate that he doesn't think women should be politicians. He doesn't think that women are born to be leaders. He said.
What's wrong with that though? Like, why does that make him a misogynistic pig? Like, why does it make him a terrible person? That's another thing with Brian is he just grants themselves these things that like, if you have this opinion, then you're a bad person. I have this opinion. Therefore, I'm a good person because I have I have the right opinions. Jay Dyer and all these guys, they have the wrong opinions. But he just grants himself that. Like, why is someone a bad person if they believe these things?
That in my debate. That is a misogynist opinion. Whether you want to force women to do that or not is not the point. It is a misogynist point of view. People can say what they.
The one who mischaracterized him then.
No, I did not mischaracterize him.
Yeah.
He doesn't believe that women should be in political positions or in powerful positions. It is a misogynist position that he holds.
Well, it's not a position; it's an opinion. So you can have opinion.
What?
But you have to
Hold
have
on. Define the difference between a position and
Oh
an
my
opinion.
God, is this guy this stupid?
What's the difference?
I was saying, oh my gosh, at the same time Brian was, but for totally different reasons. I was saying that because Kyla's right here again with, what's the definition of this? And it's like, oh my gosh. Enough with the pop quizzes, Kyla. Pop quiz, hot shot.
Here's the thing.
What's the difference?
I understand that it's two.
Hold on. Stop. What is the difference between a position and an opinion?
Dude, you're going to answer the question or the conversation is over. Stop interrupting or go back into the kitchen. Go ahead, Kyla.
What's the difference between a position and an opinion?
Tagged in and I don't have.
What is the difference? Hey, dumbbell, we're going to ask you again. What is the difference between a position and an opinion? Answer the question.
Having a position on something could be like, hey, you know, this is like a position of, you know, leadership. It can be in one area where, you know, you're assigned something. And also having an opinion is something that's kind of, you know, oh, hey, I have this opinion instead of being elected for a position.
Right. So when Brian said a position, you thought he might have been talking about his position in a workplace. You didn't think that he was talking about an opinion?
No. So that's okay. You misunderstood. Basically, you would ask me.
I misunderstood.
What could be the difference?
Well, you totally did. Like, and she does that on purpose. Like, that's what the lefties do. They'll misrepresent the position or misunderstand, therefore making the discourse impossible.
Between a position and an opinion. And so
I didn't ask generally. I said in this situation where you're obviously using it because we can use context clues in a conversation. Hold on, sir. Before you get condescending towards me, which is funny because you do that to me and not the man.
Oh gosh. Again, helping with the likability problem. It's funny because you do it with me and not the man. I'm pretty sure he would get condescending on Brian as well. It's just that you're being actually like, it was because Kyla's actually being the one condescending. And so when he's actually like doing a good job of arguing against her, she doesn't like it. Now it's all of a sudden he's the one being condescending. And that's her go-to. Like whenever someone is out debating her, then she'll go to like the condescension.
Still couldn't define rhetoric. You couldn't define rhetorical. You said it was hyperbole.
I'm not condescending towards anybody.
You're being condescending towards me by going, now, because I thought of one way that position could not mean opinion, which is not at all relevant to the conversation.
Let me just say this, and you know, I'm not simping here, but Kyla's IQ is probably triple what yours is, sir. I'm going to give you a position and an opinion. You ready? Here's my position. Here's my position. My position is that you're an extremely stupid, uneducated individual that can't define the words that he actually uses. My opinion is that you probably don't even have your GED. That's my opinion and my position. So what do you think about that, sir? Okay. You've now been on the phone for 10 minutes. You've wasted 10 minutes of our lives. It's one of the dumbest calls I've had all week. You haven't even really clearly stated what you disagree with me on.
Simp. I need a simp emoji. Hopefully we get more members. I could add a simp. That's the one I've been I got to write that down because I think I've been forgetting that. But yeah, simp emoji, because that's a good one. We need to do that. We need to shame simps like Brian here. If you have to say you're not a simp or you're not being a simp, you're probably being a simp. Rachel for the $4.99. OMG, I figured it out. Kyla is a female Brian. Oh no. Imagine going from being a female Destiny to a female Brian. I think that's a downgrade. That's crazy. Thank you very much, Rachel, for the $4.99. Real quick, guys, make sure to click that like button and subscribe to my channel if you are enjoying.
And women have probably treated you like because they want to stay away from you because you're a loser. I mean, that's what it sounds like to me.
Well,
get off. Get that. No, you can't speak. Get the off my show, you idiot. Jesus Christ. These are the idiots that I have to deal with every day. The guy is so stupid. And you ask him very basic questions and he won't answer it.
Well, a position might be a job thing. Do you think Brian was using position in that way?
Here's a position. Why don't you go back and get your GED, Bobert Sr.? Jesus Christ. 702-221-7283. Didn't
Bobert Sr. Jeez, this guy. Let me read some super chats real quick. John Aria for the 2. Also, I think I can fix him, but I doubt it. Oh no, that'd be horrible. Intel is wild for the $5. Not so bright, looking kind of like Brigitte Macron. That's a man, baby. Yeah. Thank you very much, John Rio, for the 2. Hi, Brian. Thanks for having boobs on your show. I don't know why the retarded caller turned British there for a second, or Australian there, but thank you very much, John Ria. Intel is wild for the $5. We want voter ID. 80% of the country wants it. Repubs and Democrats. John Ria for the 10. So I lost my only black friend today because I said the word. I said, it's okay. I was singing it with the song. He said, you were singing happy birthday to me. That's pretty funny. Thank you very much, John Ria. Pix Paradox for the $9.99. Got nothing to say. Just wanted to show you support. Thank you very much. Del Phil for the 2. LOL, Kyla is bored and annoyed. Yeah. Truth Revolt TV for the $4.99. Kyla texting Destiny wanting to get back in the orbit so she doesn't have to slum it with Brian. Dude, I know, right? Thank you very much, Truth TV or Truth Revolt TV. Third for the $1.99. Thank you very much. Third again for the $1.99. Brian has a stupid face. Just saying. Missy for the $5. Got nothing to say. Just wanted to show your support. Thank you very much. Truth Revolt TV for the $4.99. Brian, you mess with Kyla, you get the white knight, pal. Thank you very much, Truth Revolt TV. John Ria Smith for the $5. A position is like missionary, but an opinion is like jackhammer is better sometimes. Thank you very much, John Ria.
Even know anything about the study that he mentioned. Didn't know anything about what you were. Well, we're getting into word games, and all this other stuff. Anyway, let's go to
the metaphysics. You can tell he's a Jay Dyer listener because he's like, well, we're getting into the metaphysics. And I'm like, what's the metaphysical? And he's like, well, it's rhetorical. It's like, what's rhetorical?
Doesn't even
nothing was rhetorical.
Yeah, a Jay Dyer fan. Meanwhile, Jay Dyer's wife is in the other room. Another Andrew Wilson. His wife is in the other room, and he's saying all these disparaging things about women, that women shouldn't be allowed to vote, that women shouldn't be politicians. And I just
went up to her. I was like, listen, baby, you don't have to be with this misogynist pig anymore. Why don't you leave him and get with the real man, the real hero? I could save you, baby. I could rescue you. You could become my OF girl.
You're a misogynist piece of garbage, and you could stack up these 7 or 8 philosophy books and shove them up your ass. Okay, I'm sorry. Dyer is and the way he treated you in the debate that he actually treated me okay, and I called him some names. The way he treated you was so
cowardly
awful.
Men are very scared of smart women.
Yeah, I agree. I could not agree with you more. I could name you so many other people that are in our circle that we've debated that are scared of powerful women. Yeah. They don't want a woman to be president. They don't want a woman to be in powerful positions. Why do you think that is, Kyla? Why is that?
I think a lot of young men are raised to I think a lot of young men raised by boy moms believe that they are entitled to the world. And as a result of it, when they see a woman in a position that they wish that they had, they get frustrated and jealous. And I think they fundamentally buy into the idea that women are literally less rational because they've had negative experiences with women. And of course, it's not their fault. It's always the woman's fault. I think it's usually
really, really sad. And I think a lot of these men are extremely insecure too. I would
typically
use that as well. Lisa and the YouTube super chat says, I think.
Wow, the cope is unreal. It's turned into a Jay Dyer cope session out of nowhere. Rachel says, it's sad. Hey, Kyla, why don't you mind your own business? You want women to have choices and not be shamed for them till one of us chooses a traditional marriage? What a scumbag. Yeah, exactly. Both these little women right here, freaking, when they see a woman that made a choice and wants to be a traditional wife, they chastise them, which is what all these feminists do. Female and male. I'm smarter than Kyla, and neither Jay nor Andrew are scared of me. Yeah, exactly. It's just cope. It was just nothing but cope. This little cope session here. Oh my God! They're just strong. They're just scared of you because you're just a strong woman, baby. You're smart. You're beautiful. You have it all, and you can't have it all. You could be CEO. You could be the host of this radio show if you want to, baby. You can have it all.
We're all suffering from Trump fatigue syndrome. I tend to agree with you there, Lisa. Unfortunately, I have to cover the news every day, and he happens to be the orange turd president of the United States. Darren is calling out of Illinois. Hello, Darren.
Hi, Darren. Hi, Brian. Brian.
You're Darren.
Hello, Brian. Hello, Darren. How are you? What's up, man? What's on your mind?
Hey, it's so great to talk to you.
Well, thank you. What's on your mind today?
I have a few questions, just a few short questions.
Okay.
I think
it's
this is Adam.
Little off track, maybe, but how many times did it take to make an agreement with Iran?
Come again? How many times did it take to make an agreement with Iran? Care to elaborate? Well, obviously,
It took like 30 times.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's the brilliant negotiator, right? The art of the deal. Obviously, every single one of these deals have fallen through, just like the war in Ukraine. He hasn't been able to, get any sort of agreement with Vladimir Putin. No sanctions given up there. There is no art of the deal. He's an imbecile who's lying to the American people. Iran will not negotiate. Trump thought embarrassment because of that. Did something with it before the show. Let's go to Casey. Casey's next on PTL. What's up, Casey?
Hey, how's it going, Brian?
What's
it
up?
Looks like you have a lot. It looks like you have a lot easier interviews today, because I think that was the word you used. If I remember correctly, you said you had an interview with Dean Cain, and you have an interview with this young lady who was dynamite, and you didn't get rolled. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. So I definitely got rolled from Dean Cain. That's a great take, sir. Great take.
Yeah, well,
You're right,
they're
sir.
both interviewed. Well, you had a nice tempo. You controlled the tempo nicely with.
Well, thank you. I mean, if there's anybody that I need skills on how to interview people, even though I've been doing it for 25 years, it's definitely a guy named Casey who's never worked in the radio business before, who's calling in and trying to give me advice on it. Casey, let me interview you. Are you married, sir? Do you have any kids?
Yeah. I am not.
What do you do for work,
no.
sir? What do you do for work, sir?
I am a boat captain.
You're a boat captain. So how would you like it if I showed up at your work and I told you that you need to be a better boat captain, and I told you what to do with no experience? What would you think about that?
I would throw you right off the boat.
You'd probably call me an idiot, right? Casey, answer my question. Casey,
I'm like, sorry, I'm not hiring any sailors, especially gay sailors.
Trying to answer.
Okay.
You know how you grow as a person? You listen. Yes,
okay. Okay. Well, guess what? I already thank you, Casey. I listened to you. Thank you so much. You're right. I got rolled by Dean Cain. Is there anything else you'd like to call today, or did you use your little Trump fingers? Casey, did you look? So now you're homophobic, Casey. Well, let me tell you something, Casey. When I wake up, if I was gay, the first person I would think of is a MAGA mushroom gobbler like you, who's a boat captain. You're very sexy, Casey. Thank you so.
Wait, what? Did he think that was a good comeback there? Oh, look, freaking Kyla just got the ick. It's always bound to happen. You know, he always says something. Yeah, what'd you think of that comeback, baby?
So now you're homophobic, Casey. Well, let me tell you something, Casey. When I wake up, if I was gay, the first person I would think of is a MAGA mushroom gobbler like you, who's a boat captain. You're very sexy, Casey. Thank you so much for calling into the show, and thank you.
Got him? Got him. Yeah. Well, if I was gay, sir, I would find you attractive.
For your advice. Holy fuck smokes. Ooh. Let's go. Kyla's like, what did I get myself into here? Let's go to Michael. Michael is calling out of San Diego, California. What's up, Michael?
Hey, Brian, can you hear me?
I can. What's up, Michael?
Hi. I just wanted to call. You wanted me to call back in today because yesterday when I called in, there was a bit of a misunderstanding.
Yes. Well, Michael called in. Yes, Michael called in, and I thought he was a prank caller. And we were talking about if you know Kyla, the ICE shooting in Texas. And I thought Michael was shedding fake tears because sometimes I do get clowns that call into this show. Michael, I was wrong. I apologized to you yesterday, and I'll apologize to you again today. So go ahead, Michael.
It's okay. I forgive you. And I just want to know, too, that I thought about it over the night, and I'm not mad at you anymore because, unfortunately, it's because of it's Donald Trump's base. And I said in my email, too, that I've lost family and friends because of Donald Trump. And there have been times, and it makes me sad to say this, but I've almost committed and lost my life multiple times since Donald Trump got back into office because I'm very upset at what he's doing to my country. I love my country.
Michael, listen to me.
To get emotional.
Michael, listen to me. You need to do the things in life that make you happy. Okay. We're all going through it. Kyla's going through it. I'm going through it. She's got her horses and everything else, right? You got a lot of things in your life that make you happy. And for me, it's like going to the movies, hanging out with friends. Last night, we were all having dinner. We all had a great time. You have to do the things that make you happy. And I'm not saying everything's going to go away. You have a right to be upset. I'm upset too. But life is so short. Spend time with your family. Spend time with your friends. Ask yourself, what makes me happy? Do those things.
Every anime protagonist has a training arc where he stops fighting and he rescinds back to the waterfall and trains with his master. So.
Yep. But Michael, you can email me anytime. If you're having a tough time, you email me anytime. Okay.
I don't know why I thought that was funny. She gives this like anime analogy, and he's just like, "Yep."
I will. And I apologize and thank you for the call today.
Of course, Michael. And you call back anytime, and you're welcome to email me if you're having a tough time mentally, whatever. I'll try to give you the best advice I can. And maybe at the expense of Donald Trump, I'll make a joke to make you laugh. Okay. Appreciate the call, Michael. Thank you. David is calling out of Pennsylvania. Hello, David.
Hey, Brian, this is a question for Kyra.
Hi.
Hi. I wanted to ask you, with the tour you do with Destiny, it's the Unf America tour. Is that what it's called? I'm assuming I can't say the full name on radio, correct?
No, I'm not part of UFA anymore.
Oh, you're not part of that?
Yeah, so we started a new tour
you
called Take Back America tour.
Right.
Yeah, brr. She's not a part of the Unfuck America tour, brr. Get your news straight. Get your facts straight, brr.
Okay, Take Back America.
Yeah.
Well, I guess my question to you was, like, who exactly are you? I'm not like you personally, but I mean, who is that tour trying to win over exactly in terms of like voters?
It's
a certain group you're looking for? Or?
Yeah, I would say we want to continue to highlight kind of the MAGA.
I was like, what the hell happened to the video? Did the video just cut out? Top-notch production there from the 20-year radio show host, huh? There's always like some kind of production gaffe with this guy. I've been doing this for 20 years, pal. Oh, yeah. You still can't get your freaking live stream straight? His camera always has to be adjusted. His sound sucks. Rachel Wilson for the $4.99. Holy crap, I cannot imagine ever being in a dark enough place in life that Brian Shapiro would be the lifeline that I would call.
Meaning voters are also frustrated with the left.
Sorry, excuse me, Kyla. I was reading a super chat. Would be the lifeline that I'll call in my hour of need. Yeah, seriously. It's pretty bad when you have to rely on Bryshap to help you further your career. Thank you very much, Rachel, for the $4.99.
And with Democrats specifically. And so we're also trying to connect with those people.
Okay, well, so really my point with these questions was like, when during the last election with Trump and Kamala, I'm sure you noticed that like Kamala lost a lot of young men. There was.
All right, I'm going to go to Adam.
He has, I think, in fact, also has.
Yes, I go there. I've gone there, and I will continue to debate people. I will continue to.
Even though I'm not a debater, guys, but I'm going to continue to debate, even though I'm not a debater.
Speak my mind and be opinionated. If that doesn't win somebody like you over, then that's fine. I'm not trying to win anybody over. I don't go into.
Obviously, I would be won over because
thinking, right? I think it is technically possible.
That called into the show today admitting that they made a mistake.
My husband's conservative, actually.
Yeah,
he just like he won't
my husband's conservative, but he's just a simp.
Tolerate what's happening. Like I have plenty of conservative friends who are very anti-Trump and are voting right now for Democrats.
My best friend Destiny was brought up. He was raised by conservatives and Republicans
because they know that the administration needs
to
be
David, I'm confused. Why did you
saw how that ended?
Hold on. History. And if I'm wrong, David, you can back the spy around. I think it's very
true. Like UFC.
Okay. Right. Here we go. Yeah.
My main point is him. Those
who you voted for wakes up in the morning, puts on 8 layers.
Cared about it.
Oh, it's fake.
Democrats don't inspire masculinity, and look, that they inspire femininity because they went over a lot of.
So the guy who dodged.
So I guess
he's a masculine man. Who Destiny?
Maybe.
Hey, you leave Destiny alone. Yeah, he's more man than you'll ever be.
Maybe I could bridge the gap here a little bit with you, David, because I actually do think so. I'm actually I talk to Democrats a lot.
Yeah, that's a good point, Cameron. Husband is a conservative that agreed to an open relationship. Oof.
Specifically about men and masculinity. And it is a common critique that I have, which is that I think Democrats have made a space where the average working class man and the experience he has and the product of what that person looks like isn't really welcome oftentimes in Democrat spaces. And I think that that's a failure. And I think that that's not a good thing, right? I think the issue is when you're talking about like media strategy, for example, the most important thing is you look at the demographics. You can't really deny the fact that Destiny, while there's, you might have critiques, you might not like Destiny, and that's totally fine. He has a 90% young male audience. He's kind of exactly who we want to be talking to. He's actually a type of guy that when I talk to
crazy young men,
conservative men,
young men, a lot of them are freaking degens and coomers.
They go, I used to be.
Yeah, he really appeals to the coomer demographic.
Conservative, and he's the guy that pulled me towards the left. That's like one of the most standout things about his audience. So Destiny is actually the exact.
Who the was a real conservative and then got pulled to the left by destiny. I want to meet these people.
Type of target, because I think, well, some men, they just want to see muscles and whatnot, and that's fine. And there's influencers for those people that I would also love to work with. Destiny also has his appeal, and he is communicating to young men based on his own metrics.
And I want to add something for David real quick, since David talks about masculinity. I'm going to roll down a few names here of some of the biggest names on the right. Let's see if David thinks they just spew masculinity. Ben Shapiro, Mark Levin, Benny Johnson, Michael Knowles, Sean Hannity. Sir, these are some of the biggest names on the right. I don't know. You tell me, does Michael Knowles and Benny Johnson spew masculinity? Do they just scream it to you, sir?
I mean, well, let me explain. I mean,
why do you have
I mean, they're more masculine than you.
Explain. Just
all of those men are more masculine than you. Even Mark Levin.
Answer the question. Does Michael Knowles spew masculinity to you?
And I said, yes. Would you like me to elaborate?
Michael Knowles is masculine? Are you kidding me? Are you a joke? You just said Michael Knowles spews masculinity. Are you insane, sir?
He has a wife and children.
Oh, okay. So let me get this.
Yeah, unlike you, Brian.
That's right. If you have a wife and children, that means you spew masculinity. It doesn't matter the way you talk.
No, I didn't say spew. You said spew masculinity.
Okay, so Ben Shapiro, Michael Knowles, Benny Johnson, they are masculine men. Is that what you're telling me right now, sir?
Unlike
you want to talk about destiny?
They all have wives.
All right. Have a nice day, David. Yeah, you spew masculinity as well. Michael Knowles. I met Michael Knowles at AMPA.
Man, I don't know. Just being a family man was enough to be masculine.
Yeah, I guess if you're just a family man, that makes you masculine. Brian, are you enjoying that cigar? By the way, that's the way he talked to me at AmFest. It was the weirdest conversation I've ever had.
Oh, so remember when Brian would brag about knowing Michael Knowles? Yeah, I partied with Michael Knowles. Yeah. Michael Knowles was one of the names that he would drop. But now that Michael Knowles, Brian Shapiro called him like an idiot and stupid, and Michael Knowles was like, hey, haven't you been the guy that was begging to come on my show and been hitting me up in text messages? Brian doesn't like that. Now all of a sudden, that was a weird conversation talking about cigars. Now all of a sudden, Michael Knowles was having weird conversations with him. Yeah, well, there's no chance I'm going to get clout off of him, so fuck him.
It was so weird. Benny Johnson, are you kidding me? Ben Shapiro, your thoughts don't care about your feelings. Benjamin Netanyahu could bomb every country in the world, and I'd be okay with it. Yeah, Ben Shapiro spews masculinity. Oh, my goodness gracious. That guy's obsessed with masculinity, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, compared to you, all of those men compared to you, yes, are more masculine.
Thank you for the call, David, out of Pennsylvania. Let's go to Randall, who's calling out of New Jersey. Not too close.
Is this you, Adam? Are you Randall?
Pennsylvania. What's up, Randall?
Yeah, hey, Brian. Hey, Kayla, how y'all doing?
Good. What's on your mind, man?
Yeah, I find it really funny that these MAGA guys with their big trucks and they're talking about masculinity. Yeah, they're really compensating, in my opinion. But that's not the reason.
Okay, Adam, I'm gonna have to end the stream in a little bit. So either get me a timestamp or we're gonna have to watch this tomorrow.
And I called because I wanted to talk about how you just continue to not acknowledge your.
I don't even know where that guy was going, but I think he's off topic. 702-221-7283 is the number to call. God, we were off to such a good start in that phone call. Ryan is calling out of Colorado. Hello, Ryan. What's going on? Ryan, are you there?
Hello?
Yes, Ryan, go ahead.
So my question, Ryan, is that the last caller you had, you want to talk about positions and opinions and stuff. And why is it you're worried about respect and positions and opinions, yet you don't respect any of your callers that call in? You call us out of our names.
Yep.
You disrespect us, and then you want to talk about, oh, you're going to respect Miss Erudite here, the airhead?
I'm sorry, you just called my co-host an airhead? Is that what you said, sir? You expect me to respect you?
No, she was your co-host. I thought Leonard was.
She's co-hosting with me today, dumb dummy.
Wait, how am I an airhead?
All right, I didn't know how that.
Wait, how am I an airhead?
Yeah, why is she an airhead? Why is she an airhead? Give me an example of something she said in this conversation that would lead you to believe that she is an airhead. Go ahead, sir. Give an example.
Well, she's a bit of a hypocrite also because she's talking about condescending.
Well, a hypocrite isn't an airhead, right? Somebody can be really smart and a hypocrite.
No.
A hypocrite. Hold on.
No, hold on.
I love how so many men who want to call.
I like how just calling her an airhead's enough to. She really is actually a female Brian now. You just call her airhead and it's enough to set her off. It's like with Brian, you just have to say one thing and it's enough to make him spurg.
He's stupid. They just like run away from what words mean.
You are an absolute.
Okay, pot him down. She's going to talk now, and you're going to listen.
Just very simply, so you can also.
A strong, independent woman is speaking, sir. So you shut your mouth.
So accuse me of being a hypocrite. It's just a separate conversation. So first start with evidence for why I'm an airhead, which is your claim, and then start with why I'm a hypocrite, I suppose.
So what did she say that you would consider stupid? Because airhead, most people associate airhead with stupid. So go ahead, sir, and we'll try this one more time. Being a hypocrite doesn't mean you're stupid, by the way. Give me an example of something. Okay.
No, it doesn't. There's many smart hypocrites.
Okay, I think we've learned who the airhead is in this phone call. There are a lot of intelligent people that are hypocrites.
Wait,
no.
Can I ask him? What's a hypocrite? What does that mean?
What is a hypocrite, sir?
Oh my gosh, dude.
What is a
What the hell? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Jeez, really is pop quiz Kyla over here. Pop quiz hot shot. What does hypocrite mean? Do you know?
Hypocrite?
Yeah, please give me the definition. Do I stutter?
Claims one thing, yet does another.
Okay, true.
Good,
Okay.
good.
So
you sit here,
sir.
Why am
sir,
I an airhead?
Sir, we're asking the question now for the 8th time.
So now that we know that you know what a hypocrite is, and you know that a hypocrite's different than an airhead, can you tell me how I'm an airhead?
You could have very intelligent people that are hypocrites. So let's try this again.
I don't know. Am I potted down?
Okay, sir,
no, you're not
potted down. Please tell me what
I didn't know.
said.
I was going to answer her. I was going to answer. I didn't know if I was potted down.
Sir, please don't be an airhead. Go ahead and please explain to her.
Okay, I'm the airhead.
What did she say that's stupid? Go. What did she say that would lead you to believe she's an airhead?
Well, let's talk about feminism. Now, everyone's so misogynistic because men don't want women in politics. You know why? Because you're too.
Okay, so now he's going to swear. Sir, we're on a live radio show, and you just proved that you are the airhead. Is he still on the line? Okay,
there's nothing that makes a man more angry than a smart woman. I don't know why you're like swearing at me at this
angry,
point.
sir.
I've been like pretty calm.
I've
asked you clearly. I think what's actually happened is, and I noticed that this is what makes men go from being calm and condescending to me to swearing and anger at me, is that I pointed out that you started with a position, I'm an airhead, and you immediately shifted the goalpost to actually you're a hypocrite. And when I called you on that correctly and it made you feel stupid because it looks silly, now you're just angry at me. First of all, I believe it was Brian who said most of the things that you just claimed there. I don't disagree with Brian. But again, somebody's opinion by itself doesn't make them stupid or not stupid. You have to prove like what I've done here that is inaccurate or misinformed. Anything like this that would actually be required. So not just, I don't like your opinion.
So let's try this one more time.
Thank you, Queen. Now let's see. Let's try this one more time, you mushroom gobbler.
Mr. Airhead that's on the line. Mr. Airhead didn't understand. And the reason why I'm calling you an airhead, sir, is because you claim that if somebody is a hypocrite, that makes them stupid. No, it makes them a hypocrite. So let's try this again, sir. And I'll go very slow so somebody like you maybe can understand. What did Kyla say? Okay, we'll see. What did Kyla say on this show today that would lead you to believe that she is not an intelligent person? Please be specific, sir.
Everything.
Wow, it's the opinion and position thing, Brian. It's quite simple. My opinion is my opinion. A position is like, hey, I actually commit to this idea or something of that nature.
What? Could you argue that these two things, what's the meaningful difference here?
Well, I mean, the last person I would ever take advice from is you.
I didn't give you advice. I said, what's the meaning? Stop reeing. Stop reeing. You're okay. Take a deep breath. Be very calm, okay?
Oh, yeah. No, honey, I'm fine.
You're clearly not fine. You've been swearing on the air. Okay.
And then the sexist language, calling me honey. You didn't call Brian honey.
Okay, so you're clearly angry, which is fine. It's fine for you to be angry, but just talk to me calmly. Okay. What is the meaningful difference between what you just outlined between a position and an opinion there?
What was that? I'm sorry, you cut out at the end.
What is the meaningful difference that you just outlined between what you defined as a position and what you defined as an opinion? Because it sounds like you're claiming a difference where there isn't a distinction.
Brian, I'll use Brian as the example.
No, you're going to use Brian. No, pot him down. You're not going to use Brian as the example, dummy. Airhead.
How can you use Brian as an example for I'm an airhead? Just answer the question directly.
Kyla an airhead. Okay? I don't care what you think about me. Give an example of something Kyla said on this show that would lead you to believe she's not an intelligent person. I've now asked you the same question 10 times.
He's basically saying, I think what he's saying is what was dumb of me was saying that a position and an opinion are the same thing. And he's trying to outline why they're actually different. And so I'm saying, Why are they different? You gave me two definitions. Those sound like basically the same thing. One of them, you said an opinion is just like, an opinion I have. And a position is like, something that I commit to as an opinion, which is, again, what's the meaningful difference here? Sounds like an opinion is an opinion and a position is an opinion.
It's so crazy. Am I potty down? It's so crazy how much she sounds like a girl Destiny.
Answer, or you guys?
Yeah, she was.
Hey, you're not potted down.
Hey, dummy, she was talking. That means you don't interrupt.
It's hard to tell because it's not like a.
So go ahead, Airhead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Kyla, go ahead.
Okay, I can have an opinion on something, and it not be a factual thing. It's just my opinion. But when you commit to a thing that was an opinion, it is now more than just an opinion because you're taking that thing as fact.
So do you think opinions only exist if there's no evidence? So opinions are just non-evidenced claims?
No, opinions are just your personal beliefs. That's it.
But you said something about evidence.
I believe that Trump's a great president, but Brian would disagree, and that's fine. That's his opinion.
Oh, I think I'm understanding why you're struggling with this. So I think the problem that you have, I think the issue, this is actually a little bit telling. I think the issue that you probably have with like how you're thinking about the world is that you unironically, I think, believe that an opinion it doesn't matter. You can just hold it. It's arbitrary, essentially. Whereas I think anybody who respects themselves intellectually would go, I try to have opinions that are informed by evidence. And it feels like you're trying to separate opinion from position because it sounds like you maybe have a bunch of dumb opinions that you can't evidence for, would be my guess. And so now you're trying to make that separate from a position. Whereas I would say any opinion I hold is because I have evidence for my opinions. I don't just hold them willy-nilly and arbitrarily.
That would be like Brian, how Brian says that Trump's...
We're not talking about Brian. You called Kyla an airhead, and you keep going back to Brian because you're an airhead yourself. You called into this show. You called someone who I consider extremely intelligent and
beautiful and wonderful and smart.
An airhead. We've asked you multiple times, probably 10 times, give me an example of something she said. You're making yourself sound stupid. You haven't given any example because you are the airhead, sir. Is that your diet, sir? Do you just eat those Airheads at 7-Eleven every day? Sir, what do you think about that? I think oh my God. I think you're the Airhead, sir. So here's my advice to you, sir. Get some definitions.
Please, Brian, give me advice.
I'll give you some advice, sir. You ready for this? Here's my advice. There is no hope for you. You can't go back to school. You're your typical middle-aged, unintelligent, airhead, middle-aged dude who is a Trump supporter and continues to be one. You probably hate women. You swore on the air when Kyla absolutely destroyed you. And
I mean, this is not advice. This isn't advice.
Dismantled
this is an opinion.
You hate women. And you know what? I can tell you there's probably a lot of women that hate you as well. And we found out why. Have a nice day, airhead. 702-221-7283.
I'm like, well, showing that they don't even know the definition. That wasn't advice. Here's advice. I think you're a stupid moron. There's your advice. Huh? All right, let me try to find the last one of the night. 147. What is it? 147.35 to end this off.
It's calling from Atlanta. We got some listeners in Atlanta. What's up, Jerome?
I love Atlanta.
Jerome. Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Hi, Jerome.
Hey, Kyla. Hey, I had a question for you. And I was just wondering, when y'all were speaking about masculinity, is it masculine to say you served in the...
There he goes. Another again, MAGA clowns that call into the show.
What was he going to say? What was he going to say, Brian?
Social media about me.
Tell her.
Completely false.
Oh.
They call into the show because they have nothing better to do with their time. And I actually think it's pathetic that they wait on hold and they call in and they try to insult me. That's what they do. 702-221. Yeah, it is a compliment, actually.
Yeah, it is a compliment when they try to bring up my stolen valor.
Actually, they're obsessed with me. 702-221.
Yeah, so he defended it once. He defended it and explained his stolen valor once, but now he doesn't. Now every time he brings it up, now he's like, oh, they're just lying about me. Don't listen to them. They're just right-wing buffoons. You know how they do. You know. But so he's like desperate to try to cover it up. The only time he was close to explaining it was a few days ago when Leonard was there, and he was like, yeah, I'll explain it. Here's my explanation. I explained it already. I explained it a year ago. That's my explanation. So then we had to go and hunt for it, and someone found it, showed it to me, and then I aired it for you all. But of course, it wasn't a good explanation. But I just think it's funny that he tries desperately to cover it up. So there you go. Good job, Adam, there, by the way. You did really good. Shout out to everybody in the Coolverse that called in. And also, so that was Erudite on Bryce Shap, pushing the simpery with Brian Shapiro. That was actually pretty hilarious there. I got a good chuckle out of it. Also, I got annoyed at some parts too, because I mean, it's Brian and Erudite. You get these two in the same room, the level of annoyance and unlikability just skyrockets. But what do you guys think about this? Sound off in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoy. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, did you enjoy that video? I hope you did. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe, or else you're gay. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. I'm just trying to save you from sin. Also, make sure you catch the Cool Stream live Mondays through Fridays right here on my YouTube channel. And make sure you follow me at any of these links down below for everything Cool Vic.